everybody, and welcome back to Crime in Sports.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another part in this adventure that we've had, this journey known as the Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult.
It's been so fun.
It's been a wild time, and we should be winding it down here, I think, here. Probably this part and maybe one more if we can't squeeze everything into this part here. So, and that's it. And then we'll move on to a lot of other crazy stuff we have going on, including a couple people that I didn't even really know were criminals and found out they got into some trouble, which is going to be a lot of fun, too.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to that. We'll get into all that and more. Definitely, though, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. That is where you find all of the, first of all, the merchandise. We have everything, any catchphrases you like or stuff like that. It's probably on a T-shirt or a coffee cup or a skateboard or a shower curtain or whatever you want it to be on. In addition to that, you get tickets for Small Town Murder live shows that you should want to come to. Yeah. God damn it, are those fun. They're a good time. Come out and see us live. Our next live shows are in September. We're taking the summer off, but then September, we are in Milwaukee on September 18th at the Pabst, which is beautiful. And then the next night on the 19th, we're in Minneapolis at the State Theater, which is also beautiful. So get your tickets for that and come hang out with us and keep the live shows going. They're a lot of fun there. So do that.
Send your prayers.
Keep us in your prayers at night. So, yeah, your thoughts, your prayers, your vitamins, whatever you got there.
Take your vitamins.
Say your prayers, take your vitamins, and come to our live shows. That's what we're telling you to do.
I can't believe you said that.
That's hilarious, isn't it?
Stupidest thing.
Take your vitamins. They're injectable through your butt cheek. They're great.
Take your vitamins, the clear and the cream.
Yeah, no shit. No, just straight fucking Deca back then. They were just jamming testosterone into themselves. That's why they all had like the beer belly. I mean, they drank beer, but they also were like swollen. They were just packed. Yeah. Packed with testosterone. Also, for sure, get yourself Patreon. You're going to want that. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports is where you get all the bonus material, and there's a shitload of it. I'm talking anybody $5 a month or above. The price has not gone up since we've started this, and it will not go up. I don't care how everything else goes up, the price of this and that. Patreon will stay the same. So do that. Get yourself Patreon. As soon as you subscribe, you're going to get almost 400 back bonus episodes that you've never heard before. Yeah, it's like its own feed there. That's huge. And then
we're really prolific.
We put out a lot of shit. We never shut the fuck up is another way to put it. Either way you want to say.
We're a couple talky motherfuckers.
Depends on, how you want to look at it, but 6 of one, half dozen, I guess. But yeah, I thought about that the other day, that we've put out like 500 and change of these, 700 and change of Small Town Murder, 150 Your Stupid Opinions, and like 400 bonus episodes. I'm like, that is so much shit. It's ridiculous.
Why do you think people care so much?
Oh, my God.
Because they do.
Well, they seem to anyway. Either that or we're just so desperate for attention, we just keep forcing it down their throats. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's one or the other. Two sides of the same coin.
By the end of this Netflix contract, we're going to have more content up than every comedian fucking combined.
That's true. No, we'll have more
any of them combined.
We'll have more episodes on there than Seinfeld has Seinfelds on there. Literally, there's only 180 of those. We'll have 208 Small Town Murders. So
disgusting.
It's crazy. So anyway, get in there, get your Patreon, and what you're going to get this week is you get new ones every other week. You get the the whole lot of them when you subscribe. New ones every other week. One Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder. This week, what you're going to get for Crime in Sports, we have to do Hostages Part 2 because Hostages Part 1 was so much damn fun. We have to. Yeah. No choice in the matter. And then for Small Town Murder, it's that time again, everybody. It's that special time of year that everybody loves and talks about. There's Christmas and there's holidays, and then there's the prisoner dating game.
You bet.
And that's what's happening. If you don't know what that is, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line up 4 bachelors and 4 bachelorettes in front of Jimmy here, and the only thing they have in common is they are all currently incarcerated violent felons. What we're going to do is Jimmy's going to pick one of each based solely solely on what they say about themselves. And then we get to see afterwards what they actually did and how terrible of a decision he's made. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We love it. It's our
best of the worst.
It's the best of everything. Yes, it is. And the worst. So get in there, patreon.com/crimeinsports. And on top of all of that, you get every damn show we put out ad-free with your Patreon as well. Holy shit. Yeah. And you get a shout out at the end of the show because we goddamn appreciate you signing up. Bet. So there you go. That said, let's do this.
Here we go.
Patreon.com/crimeinsports. I don't know how many times if I said that enough, but there you go. Let's get to this with our dive back into the trial. Well, it's not even the trial yet. They haven't even gone to trial yet. This is all like preliminary hearing shit. So Yahweh Ben Yahweh is on trial for 14 murders, and a lot of his people are turning on him. Things are falling apart. They are having to sell off their properties to, for legal bills and things like that. So this is wild. Okay. On the last day on the witness stand, this is April 28th, 1992, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, and by the way, we've heard you, everybody, who said if I hear the word Yahweh one more time, I'm going to blow my fucking brains out. If I have to say the word Yahweh one more time, don't get angry at us though. Be mad at them. Because we don't want them to. We don't want them to all. We don't want them to all call themselves Yahweh either. It's fucking annoying as shit. So, it's more reason to hate them. So Yahweh Ben Yahweh read the Bible to jurors. And reassured them he is the quote Prince of Peace.
Of peace.
Of peace. If a defendant reads the Bible and I'm on the jury and I have to listen to that shit, automatic guilty. I don't care what you did. I don't care what you did. Automatically guilty. You subjected me to having to hear your horse shit. I don't want to hear it. Done. He's the Prince of Peace, though. Okay. Yeah. Once again, he denied he plotted 14 murders to further his religious empire. And he said, I can't confess to something I didn't do. Which is logical.
Says he didn't do it.
Didn't do. Has no idea what this is. All people, rogue people doing crazy stuff. He says. He even says he's had a special calling since he was 3 years old. And he said, I'm here to say the word is dwelling within me. And that's capital W. So like word of God. Much of his 2 hours of direct testimony were spent reading lengthy passages from Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Isaiah, Daniel, Luke, and Revelations.
Nice.
Oh, my God. Wow.
That's deep. That's a lot.
That's so. Imagine me in the jury box while this is going on. Just squirming, audibly going,
Is Leviticus not the longest book in the Bible, too? I think it is.
I don't fucking know. Who knows what the longest book is? Who cares?
He's picking some deep ones, James. That's my point.
Wow. He picked 6 of them, though. That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot. Too much. An older juror appeared to nod off. There you go. That's the way to do it. Prompting U.S. District Judge to call a brief recess to wake her up. Prosecutor Richard Scruggs objected to the Bible readings, but the judge allowed most of it. Why? What does that have to do with anything? Are we actually saying we're going to let him plead his case that he's the Son of God? What are we talking about?
I don't know. That's a bit much.
I mean, come on, man. If you can prove, come in my chambers, prove you're the Son of God, and I'll let you do that. Change something into something, do some weird shit, do some wild shit. Hey, let me kill you and then come back to life 3 days later. If you that.
Can they, on a whim, do a miracle? Like as like a parlor trick? They can,
I think Jesus could, according to these stories, water into wine, fish and bread just multiplying. I mean, that seems like a fucking on-the-spot miracle.
Does he need a reason to pull the miracle, or does he just do them sometimes?
What's the canon of it? Is it like in a show? Does he need something to happen for it to? Yeah. Like in the Upside Down, is it stuff like that? Like,
does he do it as a combatant of like the world to something, because it created everything, so anything that happens is its fault. But if anything's like not by his design, but everything's by his design, I don't know. Like childhood cancer, for instance.
It's weird.
Like what do you need miracles for if it's all by design?
Yeah, it's so strange that there's like contradictions in this crazy shit. Isn't that weird?
Drives me crazy.
Strange. It's all a plan, but you have free will, but it's also within the plan, but there's also this.
Right, but he
Yeah, it's all it's silly. That's why.
drives me crazy.
You take a bunch of non-whatever stories and cram them together into a fucking book and try to make a narrative out of it. It really doesn't go together well.
Right, but it's the problem to me is that it's the what do you need a fucking miracle for if you did it right the first time?
There you go. I agree.
You gave this kid a childhood cancer. Why are you fixing it?
Yeah.
You're teaching us all a lesson. Fuck that kid.
Yes. And that's my problem with religion and in general is when you have religion and you have, that all, and the other thing too is we have all religions deserve respect and they're all equal. And then you have, because you could have crazy people like this.
Yeah.
Well, what about me? I'm this and you got to respect. No, I don't. I don't have to respect that. I don't have to respect an adult's crazy thoughts. I don't have to respect that. I just don't. I never will and I don't.
It's baffling to me. There's so much of it that's baffling. If he created everything, then he created abortion. Why do you hate that?
Yeah.
Why are you so mad?
I was reading in this book, actually, and it's of all people, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, of all fucking people, who's got his own problems, obviously. Well, he was a Jehovah's Witness coming up.
Right.
His mom's a Jehovah's Witness. His dad was like, fuck that. I bang groupies and,
I punch kids.
Punch kids. I am not a Jehovah's Witness. But he was a Jehovah's Witness, but they got mad at him. Well, they ended up kicking him out because
the J-Dubs did?
They kicked Michael Jackson out because he was too into pop stuff. Like, I think Smooth Criminal was the thing that made him kick him out, actually.
That was some devil shit. That standing up and leaning forward and getting right back up without touching the ground. That's
with the
some
guns
devil
and
shit
stuff.
if I've ever seen it.
With the guns and stuff. So they said that. But Michael Jackson would apparently, during Jehovah's services, would like question basic shit like that. Like, well, if this is that, then why is that?
Yeah.
He said, well, if Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden and God knows everything, and God put the apple there, God would also know they would eat the apple. So why would God bait them into eating the apple and then punish them for it? Why the hell would he do that? That seems stupid. And I was like, that's a really good fucking point, Michael Jackson. If you get your finger out of that kid, I'll listen to you. That's a decent point.
But let's also point out, he didn't punish them. He punished her.
That's true. Yeah. You whore. You apple-eating whore.
You bleed, he'll collect firewood while you bleed.
Oh, man. So Yahweh said he was trying to show that Scruggs, the district attorney or whatever, the prosecutor, was quoting his preachings out of context, quote, to separate me from the word. Well, yeah, because you didn't write the Bible. To unfairly bolster the government's indictment that the religious leader plotted 14 killings, 2 botched murder attempts, and the firebombing, Yahweh, who took the stand on the 4th day in a row, said any violence he preached about, such as death to blasphemers, came right out of the Bible. So, if the Bible said it's okay, we can kill people in the streets. It's fine. Yeah, that's his...
He's right.
Wow. He said followers weren't supposed to take his preachings literally. Oh, I'm sure they all... A bunch of people who were crazy enough to live in a fucking warehouse cult with this fucking idiot, I'm sure would know the difference in the nuance there. They'd really get that. They're really together. He said blasphemers are being killed all over the planet every minute of the day. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with it as his, capital H, son. Yeah. It's the son of God. That's not my realm.
Yeah, as his son.
Yeah. He said
to him.
Yeah, talk to him. He said God sent him to rescue the blacks in America, quote, the lost sheep of Israel. He denied that he hates white people or that he ordered the random stabbing murders of 8 white vagrants. He said, my father, Yahweh, Dad, you guys are all aware of him, right? Revealed to me that not all white people are devils. Oh, that's a ringing endorsement.
Not all white people.
That's a ringing endorsement. Not all white people are devils. Oh, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Yahweh. That's fucking hilarious. He said that in open court. Okay.
It's me.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Yahweh here, April 29th, 1992, a Yahweh disciple testifies that the sect leader the main guy here, was vacationing in Orlando at the time the prosecutor said he was in Miami ordering 2 followers to kill white men.
Oh, boy.
Jesus is famous for, well, he is Jewish, and they like there's a section of Miami that they really enjoyed for a long time back in the day. So it makes sense. It does make sense that Jesus would vacation in Miami. But other than that, I don't...
Working on his stand.
He's still working on his stand, playing some canasta and some watching the highlight games, just doing his thing. We were on a trip of rest and relaxation, says Rodney McKinney, whose real name is Uriah David Israel.
Right.
McKinney contradicted the testimony of Robert Rozier, who said Yahweh was at the sect's Temple of Love in Miami during the 1986 murders of Reynaldo Echevarria and Harry Byers. Rozier claimed that defendants Anthony Murphy and Brian Lewis stabbed the 2 vagrants to please Yahweh and win initiation into an ultra-secret organization within the sect called the Brotherhood. But McKinney, a former bank vice president.
Nice.
You were a vice president of a bank, and then you're like, I'll live in a warehouse with a bunch of people and let this fucking idiot fuck my wife. That makes sense.
Imagine that.
Wow. Now, he also says he claims he was, the leader second in command and said no such group existed. There was no Brotherhood, even though hundreds of them said there was the Brotherhood and the guys that were the enforcers. Several of the group members have already testified that Murphy was in New York driving a sect bus at the time of the murders. Lewis is claiming self-defense for the stabbing of Echevarria. 2 other Yahweh followers testified challenging the government's allegations that karate expert Leonard Dupree was beaten to death inside the Temple of Love. Carla Stokes and Clorenda Newbold testified they were at the temple that day and didn't witness the alleged murders. Newbold, who knew Dupree, she said the karate expert wasn't even at the temple that day. Oh. So apparently the earth swallowed him. That's her contention.
Evidently.
Wow. May 16th, 1992, mistrial denied in the case after defense warns about the L.A. riots. This is May 16th, 1992. Think about that. That's when the L.A. riots were going on.
So they're looking for the mistrial, but they didn't get it?
No. Well, they tried to do it here. A judge rejected the mistrial motion here after defense attorney invoked the Los Angeles riots in his closing arguments. He pleaded with jurors to find his client, Maurice Woodside, innocent of taking part in a murder and an attempted murder. The government claims the acts were part of a conspiracy to enforce discipline in the nation of Yahweh. The jury system is on trial here. This is what he said, quote, "We have a growing awareness that juries are wrong. Look at what happened in Los Angeles. That jury was wrong. Those people were guilty. We see," talking about the cops who beat Rodney King in the Simi Valley decision there, "we see the jury system failing. That's what makes it also. That's what makes us also frightening. Also frightened. Don't make a mistake." Saying if you find them guilty, we're going to have riots here, is what he's basically saying, which is wild.
Logical conclusion to come to.
Yeah. Those people were guilty, and it's...
The difference is Rodney King wasn't on trial for murdering a bunch of people.
No, not Rodney King. The 4 cops who beat him up got acquitted. That's why the riots happened.
They were on trial for police brutality, but they didn't murder anybody.
No, but that's what caused the riot. I see what you're saying. It's not a connect. It's not a direct, but they're saying,
just because black people are on trial here?
Exactly. That's what they're saying. They're just trying to scare the jury into doing whatever, which is...
That's elite, but okay.
That's a wild accusation.
Feels like he was kind of minding his own business.
Yeah, by the way, that's a wild... There's been 2 cases that I super know of that the crime was on video for many minutes for everyone to see, and the people got acquitted of it. That's... Those 4 cops and R. Kelly.
All acquitted, huh?
All 4 were fucking acquitted. They watched the tape. Like, how do you watch a tape with 30 guys standing around like, I'll take a couple swings now. All right, I'll step back. You kick him a few times. That's
all
crazy.
Acquitted?
All acquitted. It's insane.
Did he not win something for that?
Oh, he got a shitload of money from the state because that's
you can't
obviously a fucking insane thing to do. You can
and they have to. They don't have to because these guys were not. They didn't break a law, but they certainly broke policies, right? And the city's going to burn from fucking Malibu to San Diego if they don't do something, right?
Where? There?
In settlement, right?
It didn't matter. That all came well after all the riots and everything. The riots were in direct response to the not guilty verdict for the cops.
Yeah.
That was like, it started that day and went on from there.
They didn't settle anything with him till way later?
No, I don't think. No, they had to do the criminal trial. I don't think they settled shit till later. I'm pretty sure. And either way, that wasn't the point. It's like nobody wants to get the shit beaten out of them in the streets for 20 fucking minutes by a bunch of nightsticks and possibly get killed to maybe get some money later on. That's not going to help.
Whatever the fuck he got doesn't fix the fucking ridicule. And it was jokes for days about that poor man.
And then the R. Kelly is the other one where it's a 26-minute video of him fucking a 15-year-old that the jury watched like 20, pissing on her. The jury watched like 20 fucking times over the course of the trial and then said, not guilty. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And
what would constitute guilty to you people?
And I brought those two up because racially there couldn't be more opposite. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. It's weird like that. So anyway, don't make a mistake. The statement infuriated defense attorney Michael Smith, a different defense attorney, because there's a bunch of different defendants, who asked for a new trial or a severance for his client in the trial of the leader here. He said it appealed to the prejudices and biases of the jurors, which have persisted in the last 5 months not to do so. But the judge denied the motions, instructing the jury only to consider the evidence in reaching their verdict and not the appeals of the attorneys to not have riots in the streets. Apparently, there was other attorneys that were not wanting a group trial like that. Those are hard, those group trials. Those are tough. Everybody has their own agenda.
So if they decide one person's not as culpable as the others, they just want to acquit everything, right?
Not necessarily, but it's hard to put your case forward while somebody else who's sitting at your table might have a completely different agenda and saying you did something that you didn't do because they want to get, you know what I mean? So it's a tough one to do that. They do that with mob shit all the time, and it's always a mess. And it's harder to deal with for the jury because they have to parse who did what. Meanwhile, defense attorney Charles White cautioned the jurors to consider the cases separately. He said, if you cannot separate one defendant from the other, then this person is not getting a fair trial. So that's what they're talking about. The prosecutor said in her closing that Yahweh ordered all the crimes either to maintain discipline inside the Temple of Love or to fight back at white people. And they built a gallery of the dead with huge autopsy photos and,
Jesus,
the usual stuff like that. Decapitated corpses, heads with bloody holes where ears should have been.
What?
The dying grimace of a man stabbed 25 times. Wow, okay. That's a lot.
He's still grimacing in death? Fuck, man.
Caught him. One defense attorney said, quote, Rozier is a pathological liar here. Apparently, this is the defense attorney for Judith Israel, the top aide there. Rozier said she supplied cigarette lighters for the arson and getaway car for the murders. And this lawyer says Judith Israel was a peacemaker, not a troublemaker. She was trying to work with the law, not as some kind of vigilante. Okay. So they accused, they're all accusing Rozier of inventing evidence because if he's telling the truth, they're all guilty. So one said, here's a guy who was looking at the electric chair 4 times. When he's released from prison, he'll be released with a new identity somewhere in the United States, and his new neighbors will not know who he is. May 25th, 1992. This is weird. Just giant black guy moved in next door shouting about Yahweh all the time. I don't know who he is.
Doing a lot of prayers towards a specific direction every day.
Says his name's John Smith. It sounds made up. I don't know. May 25th, 92, Yahweh racketeering case remains in jurors' hands. So they're still deliberating. They came out and said, we don't have a decision. And they said, that's fine. Get back in there and keep doing it here. So there you go. It's going to go there. And May 27th, deadlocked Yahweh jury ordered to try again today. Wow. So we got a deadlocked jury and the judge refusing to declare a mistrial. with this whole thing and just saying, please continue to deliberate. They said jurors begged the judge for help later Tuesday, saying they were still confused about the complex standard of guilt under the racketeering law, despite 49 pages of jury instructions.
Right.
Dude, that's like... you can't get 12 people together randomly that are smart enough to parse all this shit out. You just can't.
And he told you what to do. If it's laid out in paperwork, you've got to figure it out. Otherwise,
but
what the fuck are we doing?
It's so confusing.
I'm sure it
Especially
is.
racketeering laws are extremely confusing because they were written to really shoehorn in the exact people they were trying to arrest. They wrote this law. So it's really a weird, complicated, it's not a straight up law. It's weird. And especially RICO shit. So I get it that I would be, and it's 49 pages of jury instructions.
That's deep.
That's a lot. Like, what about this? Well, let's reference it on page 27. And like, holy shit, dude, you'd need a bunch of college professors in there to figure this out. So they said the note, which suggested that jurors believed all the defendants are guilty of conspiracy, prompted an even more strident defense demands for a mistrial. But after more than 4 hours of debate, the judge returned a brief note reiterating the charges and said, I'm afraid they'll get so frustrated that they'll agree to any majority vote just to get out of there if we don't help explain the law to them, which is true. So they said that it would take more than 4 days of deliberations before he would abandon a 5-month trial, basically, the judge said. And which makes sense. I mean, it's been a long trial. Let's do this. May 28th, 1992, verdict is ready.
Here we go.
Okay. Yahweh and 6 followers found guilty of conspiracy. Jury acquits 7 others.
Okay.
So Yahweh
7 got acquitted?
Yeah, that's just crazy too.
Yeah.
Yahweh Ben Yahweh was found guilty of conspiring to build a religious empire on the foundation of murder. But there was 15 people they were trying to, get going here. So not exactly anything else. The defense attorney who won an acquittal for his client talked about Rozier and said they didn't believe the bum. That's why my clients got off. Okay. Rozier's the bum, quote, unquote. The prosecutor said, obviously we're pleased with some of the verdicts and disappointed with others. And he said, however, the jury has spoken and we have the utmost respect for their decisions. There you go.
They do.
They do. Now, the Yahweh's attorney said he and his client accepted the verdict calmly and was hopeful for his eventual release, saying, I think we can win on appeal. Okay.
I love them. They're so hopeful.
Yeah. There was mistrials declared for John Foster and Carl Douglas Perry after the jury failed to reach a verdict in their cases. Mm-hmm. So it was, 13 that got either acquitted or sentenced or convicted, and then 2 that were mistrialed. That's how you get to 15 defendants. So anyway, the state prosecutors had them arrested on first-degree murder charges because basically they had a mistrial, so the judge ordered them released, and when they tried to walk out of the courtroom, the prosecutors had them arrested on first-degree murder charges. Oh, shit. Which I don't know if they're going to have a decent double jeopardy argument there. Well, not really, because it was a mistrial. So no, they don't actually. They weren't one of the acquitted ones. I was thinking if you were acquitted of racketeering, but that included the murders, then you couldn't try them just for the murders. Yeah. But they were mistrials, so they're up for another trial. They can have that.
Fascinating.
And then it'll be less complicated if it's just murders and not this whole racketeering thing here. 2 other defendants who were acquitted of racketeering, James Lewis Mack and Dexter Leon Grant, were also arrested on state murder charges Wednesday. That's going to be legally complicated.
Is it?
The murders were folded into the RICO.
Oh.
So if you've been acquitted of that, you're going to need a whole bunch of judges to figure out whether that's double jeopardy or not, to then try them just for murder. That doesn't, after the verdicts were read, all the disciples walked by and kissed Yahweh or shook his hand.
Ha.
Because he's not a cult leader or anything.
He's not the boss. Right.
The judge said, this is a great quote from a judge, "It's been a horrendous trial. I would not wish this trial on any other judge or attorney or jury or defendant for that matter."
Or a defendant.
Or defendant. He wished luck to the 7 acquitted disciples, and then 2 of them were arrested for murder promptly. So that didn't work out very well. They had 150 witnesses in this goddamn thing. It was a lot, a whole lot. So one of the defense attorneys talks about Rozier and says it's a message that they're sending to the government. They can't make deals like this. They can't trade the electric chair for the witness chair.
Right.
Yeah. Well, only mob cases can do that, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. So they said Yahweh's attorney predicted the sect would now flourish despite the conviction.
Oh.
He said, what kind of message did it send when Jesus was convicted? Followers will continue to believe him and even grow in greater numbers. Again, if you let us kill you and you rise from the grave in 3 days, we can talk.
Sure.
We can let me murder
I'm all
you.
ears.
Let me murder you. Make sure you're dead and everything, heartbeat and everything like that. 3 days, you come on back out of that cave. We are going to have a chat about you being the Son of God.
Boy, do I have ears for that.
I am on board at that point.
Yeah.
Let's go. Get me a robe. Sign me up. So May 29th, 1992, the 4 followers, the 2 that were acquitted and got rearrested and the 2 that were mistrialed and got rearrested, are all denied bail as well.
Oh.
Those guys thought they were leaving. Now, the Yahweh jurors, the problem here was, when they talked to the jurors later, is they didn't believe Robert Rozier. Mm-hmm. One of the jurors, Delroy McGregor, said, if you do something wrong, you will lie to protect yourself. Maybe in some cases he might not have been telling the truth. Interesting. And the forewoman of the jury said he had everything to gain by testifying and accusing others. He might have done the murders on his own. There was reasonable doubt. But he would have no reason to do those murders on his own.
Right.
And
go ahead.
And it all benefits Yahweh.
Right.
And the definition of conspiracy is one hand doesn't have to know what the other hand's doing as long as they're benefiting each other mutually.
And he's the more or less sole beneficiary to the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. These are people he didn't like. And what does Robert Rozier get from killing people at an apartment complex so Yahweh ends up taking it over? Like, how does that?
Other than respect from Yahweh.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense that he would do any of these things without him. You know, so one juror said, I don't think they could have gotten a fairer jury. We're the fairest in the land here.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
One said, we even deliberated through lunch. Oh, boy.
We sat there, burgers in hand.
We talked while we ate a sandwich. Like, oh, no. Nobody talks while they have a meal, do they? That's real. Oof, you're going above and beyond. No one does that.
People handed me ranch.
Yeah, and then hit me with a legal thing. So she said she reserved her opinion on Yahweh Ben Yahweh, but wondered aloud how an exceptionally bright, handsome, and athletic Rozier became a murderer. She said, I couldn't get inside his brain at all. Do I believe him? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Unfortunately, we couldn't separate it. McGregor said the first juror, McGregor, said he only believed a small part of Rozier's testimony, his confessions to stabbing 7 men in 7 months. I believed all the things that he said he did, but just not anything anybody else did. He said he might have believed Rozier if prosecutors had more concrete evidence to back up Rozier's often bizarre accusations. He said the jury disregarded all of Rozier's testimony that Yahweh followers randomly killed white vagrants to avenge injustices committed against blacks. Meanwhile, it's what everybody said they were doing.
Right.
That was the whole point. However, McGregor found the testimony of Yahweh Ben Yahweh's sister convincing. She took the stand to describe, among other things, a 1983 execution of a karate expert inside the temple, and he said, that sounded pretty logical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more logical than anything else that's going on here. They said the judge's clarification over legal language paved the way for the verdict after the jury complained several times of being hung. And he said religion remained not an issue whatsoever, nor was race. She argued the jurors argued and shouted but remained friends. She said, we're so thick-skinned, we respected each other as people. Wow. They said even after a long day of deliberations, the jurors wanted to stay together. They played cards and Scrabble in their off hours at the hotel where they were sequestered. So they were hanging out together still for months. Mm-hmm. That's another, Jesus, that's how you get people to be a cult. Just put them in the same room for months.
Just force them to be friends.
Yeah, so they're saying that they're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine in May of 1992. The sect is going to grow. They said they've taken our spiritual leader away physically, but his spirit shall always remain with us. That's what the national ambassador said.
Right. I mean, that's basically Jesus. You know what I mean? That's what everybody in church says too. His physical body might be gone, but
and that's what they're going to
spirit, man.
That's what they're going to try to lean on here too.
Yeah.
So June 24th, 1992, Yahweh and 5 followers pleaded not guilty to 4 of 14 murder charges that formed the basis of their recent racketeering and conspiracy trial. The murder cases themselves will be decided in 3 Dade Circuit Court trials. Oh. Okay. The leader of the Yahweh sect is charged in 2 separate cases with 3 murders. James L. Mack, Dexter Grant, and Ernest James are also charged in the first trial here, and the slain man was Cecil Branch, who was stabbed to death in 86. The second trial, scheduled the following week, Yahweh and Carl Perry are charged in the 86 murders of Anthony Brown and Rudolph Broussard. They were shot as Yahweh followers tried to throw tenants out of the Opelika apartment building. And the third trial of John W. Foster is planned for early September. That's the Aston Green case. It's the one where they were trying to chop his head off with the sword and having a hard time, if I remember correctly. So July 15th, 1982, Alcee Hastings, Yahweh's huge defender here, Yahweh's lawyer who has fought hard for him, has now said, I can't do this anymore because he doesn't pay me.
This is financially destroying me.
I wonder if Jesus had that problem. Just somebody's like, well, Jesus doesn't pay his bills on time, so I don't know. I'm not going to... It's interesting here. She said, my client is unable to pay for my services. His being indigent doesn't mean I have to be indigent. This is because this broke bitch is broke. I don't have to be broke too. Hastings estimated that he lost $2,000 to $3,000 a month in the 5 months he defended Yahweh. Yeah.
How much? $2,000 to $3,000 a month?
A month he lost.
That he's upside down, huh? All right.
Yeah, that's not good. July 20th, 1992, jurors now say they were traumatized by the Yahweh trial.
Sure.
All the, tons of horrifying images and things like that here.
It's terrible.
The jury forewoman who we spoke with earlier said, once in a while looking at the pictures would make me sick to my stomach. Other times it didn't bother me at all. Okay. That's creepy. That's the creepiest thing I've ever heard.
Photos you're looking at, right?
I guess. One juror said the hardest part for me was that I would go through it in the daytime, but couldn't release it when I went home, which they said is kind of typical of the rest of the jurors here. Yeah. The horror of the evidence, the complexity of the law, and the gravity of what they were doing here combined to make for a pretty stressful, traumatic experience for these people. And they said they devised their own ways of dealing with the stress. One said we would laugh. That would help us. Oh, weird. Laugh. That's strange.
I know that feeling.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, never heard of that before.
Makes
we
it
laughed
so
and then felt
much
better.
Easier to digest.
They would bring bagels or magazines to share with the others. One took pictures and later made commemorative photo albums for fellow jurors. They had a reunion dinner. The one juror said, quote, just a beautiful, beautiful evening. Okay.
Commemorative photo album night.
What the fuck is going? This isn't camp. This is a jury trial. It's
not Mother's Day.
You're not at Camp Winnipesaukee here. What the fuck is happening? What are we doing?
Wow.
Holland relied on her faith in God to pull her through the trial, she said. When it was over, Holland's pastor came over and prayed with her. Mm-hmm. She said, I felt so much better after that. Then I began to talk to people. As I talked, I began to let go.
Good.
Great, I guess, yeah. Now, Miller, the jury foreperson, is an aspiring criminal defense lawyer who had to start a 6-week tryout for law school at Nova University the day after the verdict. So she said no time to decompress there. Right. And she said she has dreams about the case, though, mostly about the defendants. I just see their faces and their attorneys' faces, too. She said that dreams indicate lingering tension caused by the trial. while the other one says they seems to be putting it behind her. A jury expert said, "What we tried to do is throw the switch that starts the communication that was turned off by the instructions from the judge. We want to say, now it's okay to talk about this."
Okay.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Yeah, the jurors, they have a shit time. Nobody wants to sit there.
No, that's not fun. That's not a party.
No, definitely not. But this jury expert says, "I think we need to go beyond just trying to talk to them. Once we see a glitch in the system, like the judicial system in which we take a group of people, sequester them, cut them off from their area of social support, then subject them to a high degree of degrading explicit material, we need to take that seriously. Otherwise, it will have a tendency to threaten the jury system in our country."
Sure.
Enough people want the attention, though, and like feeling important that they still want to do it. You know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So August 16th, 1992, we have sentencing for some people here. Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the guy here, he is sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off 16 and a half years.
That's pretty good, right?
For multiple murder plots? That's
not
incredibly light. That's wild. John Gotti got 100 years for that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not 16 and a half years. The U.S. District Judge Norman Rodger Jr. said he sentenced Walter Lightburn, Robert Beasley, Rufus Pace, and Ernest Lee James to less than the maximum of 20 years on Friday because, quote, they cleaned up their act after 1986. Well, that makes a big deal. That's
Thank God.
way different then. It's way different then.
Yeah.
It's totally different. Yeah, I mean, you know what? That's what BTK's lawyer should have said. You know, he's really cleaned up his act since the mid-'80s when he hasn't murdered anybody in a while. It's been a long time.
As far as I know, the worst thing he's done recently is bought a Special K box and made some threats.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, so he could have said the same fucking thing for him.
Yeah.
He's just been working, taking care of his family since then. Who cares?
Doing his best.
Like they said, like Bunk said, murder, stay murder. That's
stay
it.
Murder. It does.
Stay murder. So the Yahweh followers insisted they were innocent and that they were surprised that a jury convicted them. The one guy, Amri Israel, was accused during the 5-month trial of murder of 3 men. He received 16 and a half years. Beasley got 15 years. Pace, who was Ahaz Israel, got 15 and a half years. And Ahonadad Israel got 16 and a half years. And
so everybody gets about the same?
Everybody got about the same thing.
Wow.
Now, Yahweh Ben Yahweh and 2 others face up to 20 years on one conspiracy count, and they're scheduled to be for their sentencing next week, too. Yeah. But if they run them concurrent, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. At all. So, yep, and it's the exact same thing. Top Yahweh aides get 16 years for conspiracy.
Wow.
Yahweh faced up to 20 years, and he said this is Yahweh said, adding Hastings saying that his lawyer sucked anyway. He's made it clear to several people that he doesn't want anything more to do with this case, and then said he never hasn't visited me in prison since I got convicted.
Okay.
Very sad. Wow. Okay. So are these concurrent, or I think they're concurrent?
Yeah.
Wow. I think they are from what I'm finding here. I think so. Wow, the prosecutor said, it's almost disgusting to me knowing what went on. This is not a man who deserves leniency.
No.
I would say so here. Doesn't seem like it. Although, yeah. Now, in other unrelated Florida news.
Oh, yes.
Which is my favorite few words to say now.
Can't get enough of it.
That one of the guy marrying his daughter was the craziest one a couple weeks ago. That was fucking nuts. All right. This headline is Stepfather, Mother Indicted. Okay. A stepfather and mother were charged with murder Thursday in last month's asphyxiation death of a 3.5-year-old boy strapped into a car seat in the couple's home.
Jeez. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Troy and Rebecca Ann Blanchard were jailed without bond after their indictment on first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse charges. Although the indictment charged the couple maliciously punished the child, it did not indicate the reason behind the punishment. Really doesn't matter.
No,
I mean,
but
what was he,
what
3?
Did they do?
3.5? What could he have done that deserved? I mean, honestly.
They punished him by strapping him into his seat?
Well, Blanchard told police at the time he put Aaron in the car seat as punishment for wetting his pants.
Oh,
Then Blanchard said he took about a 40-minute nap and discovered his child was not breathing. I don't know if he strapped him in too tight.
Head out of him.
Too tight so he couldn't breathe. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
So August 27th, 1992, both Yahweh Ben Yahweh and fucking Colonel Noriega there, with General Noriega, the dictator that got busted.
Yeah.
They're both moved, apparently.
where?
They've been evacuated from a hurricane-damaged prison in southern Dade County, and the transfer of more than 1,200 inmates to other jails continued. So
imagine being in jail during a hurricane. Like what?
You can do nothing.
That's got to be horrifying, right?
No shit. You can, or any kind of natural disaster, or fucking COVID or anything else. Just anything that you can't control your movements or how you interact or do anything has got to be horrifying.
I've been watching Oz a lot lately. They don't give a fuck about that.
You started watching Oz?
I mean, I started watching it years ago, but I'm in, I don't know what season I'm in. I don't know how many seasons there are. I'm pretty deep
5.
into it now to where Beecher almost got out.
Okay.
Is it Beecher?
The guy who was the lawyer.
It is
the lawyer
Beecher, right?
who got busted for drunk driving and killing the guy. The main white guy, basically, character,
Yeah, the
not
one
the
that got
main white
ass fucked a lot.
supremacist. The one who was fucking Chris Maloney from SVU.
And getting fucked by the guy from
The other
drum
guy,
movie.
yeah. It's a crazy fucking show.
Yeah.
So September 5th, 1992, again, Yahweh here, the founder of the group here, is sentenced to 18 years in prison for ordering 14 murders. So he's convicted of the federal conspiracy charges here. They said this is the district attorney said he was the classic con man, the classic megalomaniac. This is a man who used religion to amass power and money. The United States of America has never seen anything like this man.
Yeah.
They've seen 1,000 guys just like that man, actually. They
tons
come
of them.
along
Yeah.
constantly. They're a dime a fucking dozen now.
He's all over the place.
Yep. Yahweh, who wore his traditional white robe and turban in court, was asked if he wanted to speak before the courtroom. Here, he also faces state murder charges as well. He'll be eligible for parole after serving 1/3 of his sentence, by the way.
Wow.
So barely anything is what he got.
So what is that, 5 years?
Yeah, a little over 5 years. That's not too shabby here.
That's a pretty decent deal for murder.
I would say. So they're gonna start the state murder trial.
Yeah.
And they rejected a defense motion contending the murder was included in the federal conspiracy trial, subjecting Yahweh to double jeopardy, which is what I was thinking about. The prosecutor told the judge the state will seek the death penalty against Yahweh Ben Yahweh. He and 3 other sect members, Dexter Leon Grant, James Lewis Mack, and Ernest Lee James, are accused of the stabbing death of Cecil Branch. That's how that goes. Yahweh will also face a second murder trial in the shooting deaths of 2 men who opposed the attempts to evict the Robert Rozier murders. Yeah. The first panel of prospective jurors called Monday filled out questionnaires that included some unusual questions.
Like what?
Yeah, quote, do you think you have ever been discriminated against because of your religion? Which every one of those fucks would say yes, because they all think they read a book about people being persecuted and then they think they're persecuted, not they get everything handed to them and get their asses kissed every fucking week in this country. So on September 4th, Yahweh was sentenced to 18 years and all that. So now it's going to get worse. December 15th, 1952, or 1992.
Yeah, right.
I was looking at the page. Jesus Christ. Looking at something different here. His trial is going, and Robert Rozier testifies again, ordering that Yahweh ordered him and 3 others to kill Cecil Branch. Yeah. And in retaliation for a shouting match between Branch and a female member of the Yahwehs, Rozier on the stand said, he told me he was about to die, and that was one of Yahweh's and I was one of Yahweh's death angels, and had to come pass sentence on him, and that this is how Yahweh treats those who harm Yahweh's children. I know. I hate the fucking word too, everybody. It's annoying. He said, I began stabbing him. He tried to get up. He fought. So, yeah, that's his testimony. Wow. And the defense says, though, Robert Rozier's testimony is only revenge for being excommunicated, and they wouldn't pay for his lawyer.
Okay.
He says, quote, this case is about Robert Rozier pointing his finger at an innocent man trying to save his date with death in the electric chair.
Oh.
So, yeah, that sounds good in a courtroom. December 16th, 1992, Robert Rozier still up there, and at the prompting of defense counsel Jane Weintraub, Rozier admitted at various times he has lied, cheated, and stole when it was to his advantage. And she said, in general, Mr. Rozier, you're a good liar. And he said, that's true. But while acknowledging, fuck yeah. Yeah. But while acknowledging that in the past he's been deceptive, including his statements made to police, Rozier counterattacked, in sharp verbal sparring with Weintraub. He said, however, you as well as I know that everyone learns to lie by the age of 3. A defense attorney, even like yourself, is a professional liar.
Oh.
Fair.
Uh-oh.
Pretty hard to argue that. I mean,
he's got you.
Kind of got you there.
Try to wriggle free. I dare you.
Yeah, we could stand here and parse fucking liars, but we're both liars. Let's be honest here. They got a pimp and a prostitute standing there deciding who's the one at fault here. And it's like, you're both involved in this, I think. So December 19th, 1992, 2 murder charges dropped against Yahweh. Mm-hmm. Dade prosecutors are abandoning their efforts to press murder charges against the leader, who already faces 18 years on the racketeering charges. The Dade State's Attorney's Office dropped 2 pending murder charges against him on Friday, a day after he was acquitted by a state court jury in separate murder cases.
Oh.
Yahweh said, I'm absolutely elated during a jailhouse press conference. Mm-hmm. Despite his sentence, he says that he considers the events of the last 2 days a vindication. He said, praise Yahweh for victory.
Oh, boy.
Dressed in the white garb with his ankles cuffed together.
Mm-hmm.
He said, sometimes the truth comes out in court, and sometimes you have to be very patient and wait on the appellate process.
Right.
The prosecutor declined to say why the pending charges were dropped against Yahweh and Carl Perry, but the Yahweh's attorney said the prosecutors had no choice. They said they would again be dependent on the testimony of Robert Rozier. They said they don't think the jury believes him. They said Robert Rozier is a murderer. So there's that. They said that the defense rejected the notion that Yahweh was responsible for the actions of his flock, although he and 6 followers were convicted in federal court.
Sure.
She said the old trope he used: if a Catholic person goes and kills someone, do you think the Pope is responsible? I mean, if they all live in the same fucking building and the Pope is personally parsing out punishments and shit, then maybe, yeah.
I'll go this far. If the Pope moves him to another parish, then yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Very responsible. I think we have held the church responsible by making them pay billions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be more responsible, obviously. But
we should probably not have any money, but all right.
We should probably disband them all, I think, would be the best way to do it. And then you don't have to fucking worry about doing that shit anymore.
It's probably not real good what they did.
No. Yahweh told reporters, that's not just attack the Catholics, because it's every religious organization there is. They just went after that one because it's an organized one you could fucking sue directly and actually sue ahead of and get money from.
That has a shitload of money.
Yeah. There's
who benefited directly from a lot of things financially based on their blind eye to things.
As I've said it before, again, if you Google Texas pastor child sex crimes, it's unbelievable. But they're all small churches that if you sue them, there's not a lot to get.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a national story. Whereas
you're going to own the lease to a strip mall section.
Yeah, to a prefab manufactured shitty fucking thing in the middle of a field. Do you want that?
It doesn't make you any money.
Nope. So Yahweh told reporters America should applaud me for the good work I've done, and called his imprisonment a learning experience that he hopes will end soon. They should thank me.
Experience.
Wow. January 6th, 1994, inmates say they have a right to study the teachings of Yahweh.
Really?
They want, a judge confronted with a, quote, amazing case said he will rule soon on prisoners' request to study the writings of their leader there. Interesting. Apparently, the U.S. Supreme Court questioned the inmates' rights, and appellate courts cited rulings supporting the right of prison officials to bar religious literature if they fear it will interfere with prison operations. Mm-hmm. To complicate matters, Congress passed the Religious Freedom Restoration Act last year, giving added legal protection to all religious groups, including prisoners.
Yeah.
Okay. The question of whether Yahweh's sect still exists is a factor in the case argued Tuesday. The attorney for the prisoners noted the death of Christ didn't end his religion. Okay. He said, in 100 years, who knows, he said of Yahweh's following. Maybe they'll be the biggest religion.
Right.
But James Peters, an assistant state attorney general representing the corrections department, said it's just a sham. The temple of love exists no more. We now know that the temple was corrupt and violent to its core. It's amazing. This is an extremely unusual case. I'll try to get a ruling expeditiously. So, okay. In other unrelated Florida news.
Hell yeah.
HIV positive donor sues blood bank.
Good.
That's fair. That happened a lot back then. A lot of people got it.
A lot?
A lot. Like, if they had blood transfusions, hemophiliacs got it a lot. Oh my God, there was so much HIV through fucking
a lot.
A lot.
Oh, that's so scary.
A lot.
That
hepatitis too
much.
Back then was huge.
It didn't take much to not get HIV, not give someone HIV. You know what I mean?
No, but yeah, the woman said the blood center failed to tell her she was carrying the AIDS virus.
Oh, she didn't even know when she donated.
This is what's crazy. The woman named Jane Doe in the court papers to protect her identity said a year passed after she donated blood to the Broward Community Bank Center or Blood Center and learned from her obstetrician that she was HIV positive. She said, if I had known I had AIDS, I wouldn't have gotten pregnant. I would have taken precautions with my husband also. These people need to be held more responsible. So she's mad that they didn't tell her. They knew she had AIDS. She tried to donate. They'll flag the blood and take it out of the market, but they didn't call her and go, hey, we had to not take your blood because you have HIV. They never did that.
Wow.
They never told her about
she
it.
knew?
Or they didn't give a shit, or it slipped through the cracks, or who knows. Wow. But then she said, I'm fucking my husband and having kids and shit over here.
And who knows what he's got now.
Yeah.
I mean, AIDS, we know what he has.
We know he's got something, maybe. So anyway, they're still trying to figure out if they can, read his rulings. And the judge decides finally in February of 1994 that inmates can be Yahweh members.
Oh.
They said, yep, they're allowed to do it. The judge here, the U.S. District Judge, was the latest issued in an 11-year legal battle over the First Amendment rights of states' prisoners. Okay. So the prohibition prompted a federal lawsuit that's been reviewed all the way to the Supreme Court. In the latest opinion, Aronovitz said the passage of the Religious Freedom Restoration Act signed into law on November 16th has swung the pendulum back in favor of prisoners. Okay. The Assistant Attorney General, James Peters, who represented the state, said Wednesday he hadn't seen the opinion, but the Department of Corrections has been obeying similar injunction from 1986 during the appeals process. The judge's 21-page order repeated that the department must recognize the Hebrew Israelite sect as a genuine religion, admit both solicited and unsolicited mail from the group, and permit study of the faith.
All right.
Wow. The judge also said inmates must be allowed to wear religious symbols and medallions using the group's white turbans during ceremonies and eat a pork-free diet. Huh? The judge also required prison chaplains to contact institutions to set up ceremonies and pastoral visits from religious elders. Okay, that's asinine.
That's a bit much.
That's asinine. If you want to pretend whatever, go pretend it in your fucking room. I don't care. That's it. That's it. Go pretend it in there. We're not going to pretend this is all legitimate horseshit just because it's crazy. No. March 11th, 1994, Yahweh's attorneys seek a new trial.
Great.
He wants a new trial. They said, we believe the trial is fatally defective. Wow.
Oh.
No criminal trial can be fair if based on hidden evidence or perjury. Okay, the prosecutors deny any wrongdoing, of course. This is all about Robert Rozier, by the way.
Yeah.
All about Rozier. And right under that, though, is good news.
What is that?
Very good news, especially if you're a woman with huge feet. Great news. At last, women's shoes in overlooked sizes, 9.5 to 14, slim to wide.
It's about goddamn time.
Drag queens, come one, come all. That's really what this is.
Yeah.
This is, men who like women's shoes, which is fine, great.
Yeah.
Write or call for a free catalog at the Stat Shoe-esque is the name of the store.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So March 24th, 1994, inmate says witness lied on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we go. Yahweh's lawyers filed a motion for a new trial or dismissal of the trial here saying Robert Rozier lied. That's all they've been saying. So during a hearing Wednesday before federal judge Norman Rodger, the guy who oversaw the trial, this is Jones, Daniel Jones, who's a fellow inmate that basically he said Robert Rozier, this guy claims Robert Rozier told him he intended to lie on the witness stand in exchange for the plea deal.
Okay.
Jones testified, quote, "It was my idea. I told him he had to implicate Yahweh even in things that Rozier did. I told him he had to be very persuasive and said he could be. I told him he had to get the prosecutors a bigger piece of cake." Okay. Under cross-examination, he admitted he was sentenced to 12 years in prison as a career criminal, and he's also very untrustworthy. So who knows? June 16th, 1994, John Foster, one of the Yahweh followers, walked out the front door of the building, the Justice Building, 3 years and a month after he was charged with killing a disenchanted sect member. Apparently, he is freed from jail after pleading no contest to murder. Okay. Let's go over that sentence again.
Freed from jail.
He has been freed from jail after pleading no contest to
murder.
What the fuck kind of Mad Lib sentence is that, dude?
Well,
That's
as
crazy.
long as you say and take your ownership, take your lumps, you can go on your way.
I mean, you did wrong.
You know you did.
Hold on. I'm going to wag my finger there. See that?
Head on out of here.
No.
You get gone.
You go. Fix your life up, mister. Let's go.
Get out of here.
Wow. Foster pleaded no contest to a charge of second-degree murder, quote, strictly to get out of jail and secure his freedom, and is not an admission of guilt of any kind, according to the terms of his unusual plea deal.
Holy shit.
He will not have to testify in any Yahweh matter or be investigated in any Yahweh issue. Just a free pass on a murder. Go ahead.
Okay.
Wow, the defense lawyer said if this man was not connected to someone like Yahweh Ben Yahweh, he never would have been charged. Well, he's in a cult. That's what happens, stupid. That's why your parents say, hey, don't join a cult.
That's kind of
bad.
Yeah.
November 13th, 1994, one of the sect members fights extradition. Really? Apparently, he's fighting extradition from Detroit to Pittsburgh, which is pretty much a lateral move there.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, they both have hockey and football and, fucking baseball. And
both are pretty frigid fucking cold.
Food that'll make you fat. It's all there and everywhere. So they said, this guy here, the police arrested Eddie Jenkins at his Detroit home this week after Pittsburgh police sent word that he was wanted. 3 other followers of the sect leader were arrested Thursday in Florida. He was arraigned on a charge of being a fugitive from justice.
Right.
This Jenkins guy, he's accused of wielding an 18-inch machete in the killings of Michael Mahaven, on May 1st, 1986, and trying to kill his girlfriend as well.
Wow. Very nice.
A Jenkins attorney, though, maintains his client is innocent and was shocked by the allegations. He described
shocked.
He's shocked. He has no idea what you're talking about. He can't believe what you're saying.
Where is this coming from?
What? This is ridiculous. How dare you? He described Jenkins as a quiet family man. Jenkins has been living in Detroit for 10 years with a wife and 5 children, his attorney says.
Good Lord.
All right, October 27th, 95, Yahweh lawyers say this trial judge was unfair. Now it's his fault. Yeah.
Judge did this.
Yep. They said they also argued the 1992 racketeering trial was tainted with religious bias. They say, quote, it was clear Judge Rotker was not going to let them out of that jury room without a decision.
Yeah,
He in essence became the 13th juror, which is not proper and not permitted.
Right.
It's not like if they were in there for a month, it'd be one thing.
Well, it's still only supposed to be 12 people, James.
Yeah. But they were in there for like 4 days, and he said, "No, you've been here for 5 months. You're not going to say we can't come to a decision in 4 days. That happens all the time in trials, all the time. It's normal. If you kept him there for a month, then you'd go, okay, they might have just said anything to get out of there." So the issue is whether the judge should have declared a mistrial after receiving a note from the jury that tallied the exact split of the 12 jury members on the charges. He never told the judge never told the attorneys how the jury was leaning. Instead, the judge gave the jury more instructions, overstepping his legal bounds, the attorney says. Whether the jury split influenced his decision is a mystery. He's not permitted to discuss the case under appeal, and the jury note has disappeared. They said nobody knows what has happened to it. But the U.S. District Attorney said the judge was well within his discretion to have the jury continue to deliberate and do their duty. They said the note came out of the jury room almost simultaneously with the judge issuing an Allen charge to the jurors, which is a final instruction that the jurors have a civil responsibility to come to a verdict. Get in there and do that shit. She said the court wanted the jury to read the Allen charge and digest it. The jury was not coerced. The law is clear. It's obvious. Yeah, you're allowed to instruct them more. So January 6th, 1996, Yahweh Ben Yahweh and 6 disciples here are their federal appeals come back, and it is affirmed and confirmed. They rejected every defense argument in the meritless 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Atlanta and ruled the prosecutors were right to use federal racketeering statutes to pursue a religious group that committed ruthless crimes. Makes sense. They said, our review of the record convinces us that the evidence presented at trial was more than sufficient to support Yahweh's conviction. While he did not commit the acts personally, he ordered his followers to commit numerous acts of murder, secure in the knowledge that the orders would be carried out. They said there's substantial legal precedent that permitted the federal government to try these people under the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act. Nothing noting that a group of criminals, not a religion, was on trial. Doesn't matter if they come together to eat pasta and play cards and in the mob.
Yeah.
I
don't care
or they
what
come
their
together.
shared interest is. They murdered together.
That's it. That's all that matters. They murdered together and they're making money for an organization. That's all that matters. That's it. What it is, but you can hide behind religion a lot easier than you can hide behind, I'm in the Sons of Italy club. Sure. It's different. So, noting that a group of criminals, not a religion, was on trial, the court made it plain that the First Amendment allows no organization, be it a motorcycle club or a nonprofit charity, to use religion as a shield. He said Yahweh used the religion as a means of exhorting followers to commit the racketeering acts, the court said. The appeals court also dismissed defense claims that prosecutors illegally injected racism and testimony about the, quote, terrible black god Yahweh leading black people from years of oppression to the promised land of Israel. In strong language, the court traced the rise of, Yahweh Ben Yahweh himself and talked about that. He regulated what his disciples ate, how they dressed, whom they had sex with. He goes over all that type of shit. The attorney representing the Yahweh said they'll appeal to the Supreme Court because of how much this decision was against them. Yeah. It had some stank on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it was an in-your-face opinion somewhat.
Somewhat.
Okay. Somewhat. I mean, sort of. Yeah, a little bit.
In a way.
1996, Yahweh Ben Yahweh has now hit the internet.
Oh.
A nice early adopter here, too, or adapter. Yeah, this is 96. I had never been on the internet in 1996 yet.
I mean, I think I was on it for school, but I wasn't at home.
Our school, New York, didn't have fucking computers like
No?
that. Fuck no.
You guys didn't
kidding
have,
me?
like, really?
We didn't have heat in half our classrooms.
Really?
Literally, you could see your breath in math class. Our school sucked. It was
kinda
a
scary,
swamp
James.
shithole. Yeah, it was bad stuff. So, this is
We were doing, like,
interesting.
Mavis Beacon and
No, we didn't do any of that shit.
we had, like, a list of search engine websites that we had to use, and then we had to, like, search certain things and then jot down the results. And it was like a lesson in how to search the internet, which was kind of fun. It more or less
just
taught us
told
how
it-
to find porn.
They just told us, please don't stab each other, and then left us alone. There was really no internet training. Like the first time I was on the internet, maybe it was in 96, but it was like a friend of mine was like, they have these chat rooms, and like showed us a chat room. We were like, well, that's weird. Why the fuck do you want to talk to these people?
Chat rooms were fun.
That was what he was showing, yeah. So he's now on the internet, complete with an email address.
Wow.
It was a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
He even offers an online catalog for his pricey books. The Divine Cookbook, Recipes from Heaven, Volume 1.
From heaven.
From heaven. Wow. $38.95. That's in in the 90s, mid-90s.
Right.
$38.95. That's expensive. You could buy like 4 CDs with that back then. That was a lot. And the contact address is in Seguin, Texas, presumably belonging to a follower. Yeah. And Yahweh is in the federal pen in Pennsylvania, by the way. Right. October 8th, 1996, they lose their appeal. The Supreme Court rejected the appeal of all the Yahwehs. Fuck off. Now, sometime in 1996, and this is fucking wild, sometime in 1996, Robert Rozier is paroled.
Really?
They're going to let that guy out on the street.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. That's part of his deal. With the new identity.
He only got, how long did he get, 16?
Something like that. That's how what Yahweh's, with the actual people who got convicted of murder and conspiracy got. So, but he's paroled with the new identity of Robert Rameses, which is a weird, Rameses, Rameses.
Yeah, they keep it pretty close to Rozier.
I mean, it sounds like a real name, though. Doesn't sound like John Smith. So I mean, that's something. It's you'd say, how do you say that? So that means it looks real. February 12th, 1999. He's been out less than 3 years. This is fucking amazing. He is now arrested in California while in the federal witness protection program.
That doesn't look good, does it?
No, that's a real Henry Hill thing to do. That's dumb.
It's pretty bad.
This time it's for writing 2 bad checks totaling. Are you ready for this total, Jimmy?
What's the heist?
The kingly sum of $125.24.
Got himself arrested over 125.
Idiot, but it's enough to possibly send him to prison for life because the new California 3 strikes law
babe. Yeah.
requires a person to serve 25 for life if convicted a third time after 2 previous violent felony convictions.
Idiot.
And also, that's the dumbest fucking law that we have. It's so stupid.
It is a dumb law.
You wrote a bad check? You're in there for life. That's it. Now we'll pay for everything for the rest of your life. No.
But that's when they thought that penalties and punishment were deterrent, right?
No, they didn't. It was really good to put that on your ad for your political campaign and go, I'm tough on crime. I was behind the 3 strikes law. Put them away forever. It's just
That
politicians
didn't ruin
jerking
a bunch
me.
of families or anything.
No, it was great for everybody, I'm sure. Terrific. Yeah, stupid.
The second that you realize that that's a bad thing, you got to know that you're never getting voted into any office ever again, right?
No, people think it's a great thing. They don't care about the actual details of it. They just go, put those criminals in jail for life. Good. People they don't read the fine print. They read a headline and that's it. They don't care what's underneath it.
People don't know that that's one of the worst things that we ever did?
No, they love it. I'll be real fucking honest. The way they see it is these thugs in the streets and you put them in jail forever. That's the way they see it. They love it. They love that fucking stupid law. Yeah, people are morons. They really are. People are really reactionary fucking morons. They really, really, really are.
I mean, I'm pretty dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I'll skim an article and get the gist of it and be like, I know everything about that. And there was not I think I read a couple articles about three strikes laws, and maybe I read more than one. But either way, a good portion of them gave the side effect of man steals Walkman, or whatever minute value thing, and is in jail for life. And there's not people thought that was great.
They love it. They still love it.
That's so dumb.
Now, if think about it. People have their causes.
Yeah.
If some, sad-looking white guy gets put in there, there'll be a lot of people going, hey, you shouldn't put him away forever. And if it's some, black guy, there'll be a bunch of black people saying, oh, you shouldn't put him in it forever. But they have their own interests. But they don't say we should not do this to anybody because it's fucking stupid.
Yeah. I could see arrest man for trafficking with loads of cocaine. 3 times, probably life. He's not
life.
Learning. But
even though, again... drugs should be legal, but
man with unregistered gun that didn't threaten anybody with it.
Man who
twice.
who wrote bad checks that total less than the price of going for like a Bill Burr show ticket. Basically, costs more than that. I'm not
willing or welcoming paying for that man's life for the rest of his life. That's
not only him.
Fuck the rest of it. I don't.
What if he's got a family he was supporting too?
Right.
Guess what you're doing now? Now you're paying for all of them also.
You're destroying things and just pissing money out the window.
Ripping a family apart and then paying for it.
Right.
On top of that. But that is politicians trying to say, look how tough on crime I am.
That's not.
That's all it is.
I can't imagine. Translating that into "I'm tough on crime" is there's a valley between those that is so deep.
It's stupid. It's very stupid.
Ridiculous thing to say.
That's how reactionary people are. They might have heard of one case of some guy who was a felon fucking 8 times and he keeps getting out and then he killed a guy. So we should, at the 3rd time, we should lock him up forever. And why 3rd? Just because that's how baseball works? What do we fuck? That's how random it is. Yeah, because that's a marketing slogan that people can understand. 3 strikes. If you said, it should be 5. You can't say 5 strikes. That's not catchy.
Crazy. That's too many.
3 strikes.
That's
That's what it is. Yeah, it's cheating. Yeah, we couldn't say 4 balls and you walk to jail. You could have made that up too. Yeah, it's fucking stupid though.
It's the comparison of that meaning somebody's a fuck up and unfixable is outrageous and
it's crazy.
I can't. We got to stop too with fucking. Story. One example means we need to. It's so
crazy,
dumb.
But
it's the equivalent of saying every person paying for food with food stamps has a Louis Vuitton purse. That doesn't exist. That's the dumbest fucking thing you've ever said. Yeah, and if they have one with L's and V's all over it, I fucking guarantee you it's not real.
Do you know how much those are at the swap meet? Like $4. So
do you know how much they are?
Get on down there.
Resold now at Macy's. Macy's is now carrying those. I was just in Macy's the other day. That's what I know. But they're now selling used or previously loved Louis Vuitton stuff. And they are still $5,000 a bag. There's nobody on food stamps buying that fucking bag. Stop saying that.
No, it's stupid. And there might be 2 people scamming the system in some way. They're real rich, but then they get an extra $140 a month in food. Right. That's not everybody. It's fucking stupid. Basically, here it is.
That person doesn't. There's nobody that is on the government teat that has a Louis bag, a brand new truck, and a brand new house, and a pet and a cell phone.
No,
they don't fucking exist.
But that's an amazing boogeyman to paint for people.
It's
though,
unbelievable.
It's the same
people
one.
Bought it. People believe that.
They've been believing it since the 80s when they
believe
said that.
And they believe that a man that writes 3 bad checks deserves for us to pay for the rest. The rest of how old is he right now?
Good news is, what?
40?
40? Yeah, that's 40.
I'm going to pay for this man for 30 fucking years?
Yeah. Because he didn't have $125. How about give him $125 to cover the checks and we'll call it a day? Because that's a lot fucking cheaper.
Let's cover that check for him. What do you say?
That's so much cheap. No, just in legal costs and public defenders and everything else. Here's how you
But then
fix
he's going to write another one. We're going to pay for that. It's still cheaper.
It's still cheaper. That's what I mean. No, there's no pragmatism. Here's how you fix it. If ever you see a politician's ad that says how tough on crime they are and how they'll clean anything up, don't vote for that asshole.
Vote against them.
Because that's just saying, I have no ideas.
Yeah.
I'm going to play on your fears. That's it.
So dumb.
It's fucking stupid. People are animals. We're fearful animals, and you can scare people real easily into voting against their own interests, and that's what people do when they get this.
And the internet has just made I hate to keep going on this, but the internet has made, what's a story? The anecdotes are evidence to fucking everybody now. Yeah. I knew a guy. I don't fucking care who you knew. Yeah. I don't care.
No, because your sister went to college with a person who says they know a guy who did this and it got passed through Facebook. We're not going to change the law because of that. It doesn't matter.
Statistics matter.
Yeah.
Society at large, those numbers matter. Not one fucking dude. You know what else? Somebody got really bad side effects from every fucking pill that they advertise on TV, and now they just have to tell you that could possibly happen. That's what it is.
Well, it's also anybody in the test, if one person out of their test subject got itchy redness or whatever.
There's your anecdote.
Yeah, that's it. So, it's stupid. We're all idiots. That's what this is.
We got to stop.
And we've made a dumb society.
If we're going to do this together, we got to do this together. Stop it.
The dumbest and most scared can't be like leading the way. That's the problem. And that's what we always seem to have because that's the biggest voter block is dumb people who are scared. That's it. Terrified.
And what are they scared of? They're afraid to die or be in pain. And everything.
Or be poor.
Or be poor, or be looked down upon by everybody else as a poor piece of shit.
Yeah, and not
and
even
they're already
to be poor. Even if they have $5 billion, they don't want to have $4 billion because that's poorer in their minds. So that's even bad. So it's poorer. So now Rozier was in the witness protection program. Apparently, the store owner wanted him to make the bounce checks good. Pay me the money you owe me. And Rozier threatened him. Said, I'll fucking kick your ass. How's that sound?
That doesn't sound good at all.
Because he's a giant, lunatic here. Yeah. He should have been in prison from the goddamn murders for life, not for this. He was living in a middle-class home valued at about $150,000, but apparently had trouble finding steady work. Mm-hmm. He was up near Sacramento.
Was it perhaps because he had just got out of prison for murder?
He's that's possible. I mean, he's in the protection program, so that he wouldn't have to put that on his
he wouldn't have to tell
application. The prosecutor couldn't be reached for comment. The local FBI declined comment. Rozier's Miami attorney said he was sorry to hear of Rozier's arrest. He said, he's a very personable guy. It's a real argument against the 3-strike law, that he could get life for writing 2 bad checks. Yeah. But El Dorado Deputy Frisbee, his name is Deputy Frisbee, said he and others weren't happy that an admitted 7-time killer had been placed in their community without notification of the sheriff's department. Well, that would kind of
negate the whole point and purpose of the fucking program.
Fucking point of the witness protection program.
I'm positive that Mesa, Arizona had no fucking clue that Sammy the Bull Gravano was there until he started telling people, I'm Sammy the Bull and here's a bunch of ecstasy for sale.
Buy it from my kid.
Yeah.
He's holding. Yeah, I know several gangsters who live in Arizona. I don't think the cops know of them.
They
can't.
Might now.
They can't. It defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
He said, this guy is a serious problem. All right. March 7th, 1999, federal prosecutors say former NFL player Robert Rozier set out to become an angel of death as an executioner for a Miami cult leader.
Sure.
Convicted with 4 murders and reduced for cooperating and all that stuff. Yeah. Their lawyer says Rozier now has, quote, total remorse for his actions while in the cult.
Complete remorse.
He says that he has rebuilt his life in an intense spiritual and intellectual transformation. That's the other thing. Once you're out of a murder cult, you're no longer allowed to practice any religion. Shut up. You're too dumb. You're too fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
That's a strike 1 law.
Yeah, strike 1. Rozier was living anonymously in Cameron Park when the deputies arrested him for bouncing checks. He's still in custody under Robert Ramesses, his once secret identity in the witness protection program. His hidden past is now public. Rozier says his life is in danger. In an interview with the Sacramento Bee, Rozier disavowed his past, saying, quote, Nariah Israel is long, long dead. I don't know how else to explain it, but that person is gone.
Great.
So the El Dorado authorities said this raises troubling questions about the ultra-secret witness protection program and triggers a test of California's three-strike sentencing law.
There we go.
While conceding that without his criminal background, Rozier would only be charged with a misdemeanor, prosecutors are seeking felony charges so they can put him away for life.
There.
Yeah, so then they can advertise next time, I put this many people away for life.
And
you're
this
supposed to be
particular
impressed by
guy.
that.
Here's my anecdote that proves that I'm right.
Look at him. He's a murderer.
Yeah,
After
of course.
10 years in prison, Rozier was set free with the new identity. So the assistant U.S. attorney, Richard Scruggs, said he's probably their most hated enemy, talking about Robert with the Yahwehs. He says he is their Judas, their enemy number one. Now, Rozier says El Dorado authorities should have let him quietly return to his life. He owned a Sacramento auto detailing business, dabbled in internet web page design.
Oh.
Okay.
What?
He's
Dabbled.
Imagine telling this guy
Yeah.
to put together your fucking website. Hey, you know HTML, or like, what are you in? Like, you know how to do this? You coding? Like, how
I'll
would be
take your fucking
amazing.
ear off.
Wow. Yeah. How about I cut your ear off here? And he's helped raise 2 children, but a judge set his bail at $10 million.
Oh, fuck.
He didn't have $125.24.
I don't think he's making that bail, James.
Wow. Yeah, no, the prosecutor said this case really tests the limits of the 3 strikes law. We're going to do everything we can to put him away. It's just unfortunate that the state of Florida couldn't do this.
Okay.
Rozier's attorneys say their client paid his debt by risking his life to testify against the sect. What do you want from us here? Jesus Christ. So March 24th, 1999, finally, this is Newark, New Jersey. A former NFL player who later admitted to killing 7 people in Florida, Robert Rozier, was charged Tuesday in Newark with a 1984 sacrificial slaying of a homeless white man. Remember that one guy said he killed the guy in New Jersey? Right. Now he's being charged with that. He's the second person charged in the death of Attilio Cicala, who was found stabbed outside the cult's temple. John Armstrong, 40, a former a follower of Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult, was charged in January with the killings. Prosecutors have not said what evidence led them to either suspect, but they believed cult members offered the victim up as a sacrifice a few days before the cult's leader was to visit Newark. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's what's going on here. Authorities say they could be responsible for up to 25 murders. Whoa. Including the 14 in the Miami area. But Rozier is in deep shit now as well. Yeah. I don't know if they didn't know where he was to go after him, and then they found out he got arrested, so then they knew, or what. But that's what's going on here. So March 29th, 2000, the judge delays the check fraud trial.
Okay.
Here, the trial here was set to begin on a Tuesday, but was delayed after the judge appointed a new attorney to represent Rozier. He's got to have an attorney, obviously. So that's what's going on. May 15th, 2000, check case may trip up former cult killer, which is a very funny headline, I just thought.
Yeah.
That'll trip him up here. His trial keeps getting delayed repeatedly, and he says he fears for his safety because contacts between El Dorado County prosecutor and an attorney for Yahweh Ben Yahweh sect that claims to want him dead. He charges that the prosecution violates a plea bargain made long ago to become a witness for the U.S. government. Mm-hmm. If nothing else, Rozier it could be fucked anyway. So they're trying to figure this out. And wow. Whew. Huh, man. They're saying at first he just got picked up. Seemed unremarkable. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what it was. He got arrested in California. New Jersey heard of where he was, and then they got him because They said this case first seemed unremarkable. Robert Ramesis was picked up after the manager of a Cameron Park auto parts store complained about a bounced $66 check for brake shoes.
Holy shit, he was even going to do his own work.
He's doing his own work. As far as anyone knew, he was someone who owned a Sacramento auto detailing business, worked construction jobs, and stopped in for drinks at the Coloma Club, a roadside tavern on rural Highway 49.
And prepared to have the work. He's going to throw away his fucking Saturday.
Yeah. Doesn't
Put
do
fucking
this in the
brake shoes on a car.
Ugh, in the heat in Sacramento. Then he, by the way, we'll be in Sacramento on
so soon.
October 17th with a Small Town Murder live show. Get your tickets now. shutupandgivememurder.com. So he volunteered to detectives that Ramesis was the name he took under the Federal Protection Program. And before that, he was Robert Rozier. So yeah, he's the one who gave that away. Rozier said, I took them, the El Dorado detectives, into confidence and let them know who I was. I was a guy who had cooperated with several police agencies and the United States government. I figured they'd think, let's not blow his cover with a check charge.
Yeah.
He thought he was getting out of it with that. Good luck.
I thought they'd figure, don't want to blow his cover. He's deep cover.
Instead, they took his already filed misdemeanor charge and upped it to a felony so they could get him in prison forever. Now, they tracked a total of 29 bounce checks totaling more than $2,000 for such frivolous things as groceries and also video rentals and his bar tab.
You're going to check the Hollywood video.
It's like, well, you'll take that. Rozier claims there was a bank error. Well, okay. Authorities say he knowingly wrote checks on a closed account.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. So he should go to jail forever for that. Jesus Christ. After the case blew his cover and revealed his past, the presence of him and all the tactics here brought everybody else, like the Newark people in, and it turned into a fucking mess. So they're trying. They keep saying they're really trying to put him away.
Yeah.
One said he's had 5 or 6 conversations with Texas attorney Wendy Rush, who appears on the Yahweh Nation videotape, calling Rozier a pathological liar.
Oh.
They said he had accepted Rush's offer to provide him with transcripts of. Okay, that's why the prosecutor was talking to the lawyers in Florida. They say was to try to get transcripts from them of his testimony so they could fuck him more here.
Okay.
That's why. And Rozier said, quote, "Oh my goodness, there's a huge contract out on my life." And he insists he was brainwashed and ordered to kill, and that's not his fault. That's what he says, basically. He's like, look, it's just not my fault.
I was brainwashed and killed, but they brainwashed me.
You tell me who among us hasn't been brainwashed into murder? I mean,
you never
honestly.
been brainwashed before?
Give me a fucking break here. Wow. So let's find out if Rozier gets off or not. Yeah. Rozier said the United States government said this man has a whole new identity, and El Dorado says no, he doesn't. If you have a man with a homicide charge, why spend this much on a check case? It should have been taken care of long ago. Trial begins for him on bad check charges finally in 2000, June 29th, 2000. Wendy Petrie testified Wednesday that she was so taken by the very nice man that she took his check in November 1998 without asking for identification. So
Not
taken
even
with him.
Really?
Yeah. She said, I had no doubt the check was good, the former cashier at the Sutter Center Market in Coloma said, but the check bounced. And the tale of Robert Rozier would begin to unravel. Jesus.
No doubt.
Yeah, he allegedly
zero doubts, and then
zero doubt. I found him handsome. Handsome people have check clearing money.
He seemed very charming. Have you ever met a charming person in your goddamn life
that wrote checks that were bad?
They're always good.
Those are good checks. He allegedly wrote 27 no-account checks totaling more than $2,000. Now they're saying groceries, pizza, tires, and his bar tab. Where'd the videos? Where'd the
Not
videos
a bounce check, James. It's a no. It didn't even have an account attached to it.
It was a closed account.
Oh, that's like
he
the most.
He had an account, but it was closed, and he says he didn't know it was closed.
He didn't know it was closed.
That's his excuse. Come on, let's be realistic here. So they said the jurors weren't told anything about his past as the trial opens, which it'd be real weird to be like, okay, this guy's got a bunch of bounce checks and then hear about him murdering a bunch of people. That would up the ante of this trial a whole lot.
It also takes ears off of people.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
A former clerk at Tom's Sierra Co., a Garden Valley convenience store where Rozier stopped for groceries and bounced 3 checks, allegedly, said, he made a big impression on me. He was a great person, just friendly, fun. We called him Bobby.
Oh.
That's nice.
We gave him a nickname.
We gave him a nickname. Okay, John Ford, manager of Cambridge Liquor Mart, testified that the man who called himself Robert Rameses told him he once played pro football, which he did.
Yeah.
Ford gladly helped him load groceries, beer, soda, eggs, sausage, and bacon, and just chatted with the man, quote, who said he had just moved to the area.
Yeah.
Rozier's check to the liquor store bounced, as did checks to other establishments because his account with the Bank of the West in Oakland had been closed for a couple months. Mm-hmm. But Sutherland said many merchants took Rozier's check without question, even though they had an Oakland address. They said Mr. Rameses was very personable, very charming, said the prosecutor in openings.
Yeah.
People took his checks because he was just so nice.
Just a nice guy. Charming folks, man.
Wow. He's just folksy. This is how it goes.
They can move checks, no problem.
Wow. During questioning of a Bank of the West official, they surprised the prosecution, the defense does, by revealing that Rozier also had a $5,000 certificate of deposit, more than the total of the bounce checks, in a separate account at the bank. They're saying, is it possible he was just writing from the wrong account because he has money to cover it?
That is fucked if that's true.
That's why he said it's a banking error.
Okay.
Now, he might have just wrote the checks from the wrong book, but they couldn't have gone, hey, we'll just move some of your funds over there to fucking... They could have called him and said, yeah, can we... Listen, this is what happened. We're going to move funds over. Is that good? Or do you want to be arrested? And he
go
said,
back and write a different check.
That's all that, too. But then why did he go threaten the guy who fucking said make it good?
Yeah.
A bank official, Karen Teller, wow.
What?
Amazing.
Teller?
Teller from the bank. Wow. That's awesome. Testified that the bank closed Rozier's checking account in April 1998, 4 months before the first bounce check in El Dorado County, because the account was overdrawn by $960. Rozier, when it was release stuff, said in interviews with the Sacramento Bee that the bounce checks resulted in an error from the bank. He also said he had spiritually rebuilt his life and yada yada. For several months in '98, he was a fixture at the Coloma Club, the roadside tavern and restaurant on Highway 49, after he repeatedly bounced checks for his bar tab.
Oh boy.
One bartender testified that Rozier told her that his wife had accidentally closed the account, but owner Valerie Jensen, who called him an outgoing, polite individual, said she was shocked when he wrote additional checks at the establishment from the same account.
Oh, sir.
Okay.
Now you don't have any legs to stand on.
There you got nothing. Now, this, July 6, 2000, the headline is Jury in Dark on Defendant's Past. Yeah. They say trial omitted bizarre history. Jurors began deliberating Wednesday on the check fraud case. They said, in a hearing under California's three-strike sentencing law, the panel will be asked to determine whether he was the same person who pleaded guilty to 4 murders while confessing to 3 more as a member of the cult. But through Wednesday, the key question at trial was whether the defendant, known in court as Cameron resident Robert Rameses, knowingly intended to defraud numerous local merchants or had accidentally bounced the checks. Is he just bad at banking?
Is he just bad at math?
Just bad at math. In closing arguments, the prosecutor portrayed him as a successful con man who wrote checks on closed accounts and so impressed merchants with his polite personal manner that most of them took checks without question. He said, "This case reminds me of the bumper sticker, 'How can I be out of money when I still have all these checks?'"
This case reminds me of a joke.
Of a dumb joke. Rozier's court-appointed attorney, Lori London, presented testimony from 3 women, Rozier's sister, his housemate, and a longtime friend, who said he was grief-stricken after his mother died of kidney failure and began drinking heavily in the months before and during his spree of bounced checks. A Rozier friend testified that she had owed him $3,000, more than the value of all the bounced checks, and had pledged to deposit the money in his bank account, but never did. Portraying him as distracted and confused, the defense argued, we know Robert Ramesis lost his focus. He began to drink. He stopped exercising. He changed his personal habits. He just wasn't paying attention anymore. Owner of the Sutter Center Market in Coloma said outside of the court, quote, he was just a big old teddy bear. just a big old, that's got to be the name of the show. A big old teddy bear.
Big old teddy bear, man.
That is fucking perfect. I got to write that. That's beautiful. She said that. She said he recalled how Rozier instantly remembered people's names and could engage strangers with cheerful small talk.
Sure.
But a testy exchange between Rozier and the owner of a Cameron Park auto parts store that ultimately led to his arrest and questions about his past. The store owner, Nettie Fernandez, testified she told Rozier, it's a trust issue. Please don't burn me, when he attempted to pay for $66.24 worth of goods with an out-of-town check, and then presented a water bill for his Cameron Park address to go, I live there. Look, I live here, but my bank is over there. After the check bounced, Fernandez said Rozier came into the store with cash, then stormed out after she demanded he pay the bank's $20 penalty for bad checks.
Yeah, you got to pay the fee,
You got to pay that, yeah. She said, what I'm upset about is that there isn't even an issue about the $20 service charge on the check. The account's closed. He wrote the check. You owe the money. You pay the charge. It's cut and dried.
Right.
Yeah. July 7th, here, jury shocked after learning check bouncer was a murderer.
Oh, they're shocked.
Okay. First of all, he is found guilty of writing these checks, by the way, of passing bad checks. Then they talk to the jurors outside and tell them who he is, really, which is wild. The prosecutor said, folks, you have one other task to perform here. As soon as the verdict is read, the defendant is an individual who previously has been convicted of 4 counts of murder. They tell the jury because now they have to decide whether to send him away forever. But they were just told what a personable, nice guy he was for the whole trial. So the Sutherland asked the jury to certify documents for Rozier's past convictions. They returned a second crucial verdict later in the day, one affirming that his Florida murder convictions make him eligible for 25 years to life on the 3 strikes. Yeah, normally this would be no more than 2 years in jail for this. Even a felony check fraud is 2 years in jail. So their sentencing is later on. Rozier, one of the jurors said, I was in shocked when she heard about his past. One said, my heart jumped right into my throat. The jurors had spent days hearing about how he charmed everybody into taking his checks, and they were just shocked that he was a murderer, obviously. So, interesting. He returned to the court handcuffed and shackled at the waist for the jury's ruling after ruling to affirm his Florida convictions. And he said to a reporter, quote, it's not over.
No, it's just begun, babe.
Just begun. They also said, we couldn't understand why there were 4 bailiffs in the courtroom and why they were doing all this stuff over a small dollar amount in checks. I was wondering, why is there a jury needed for this? Like, why are we here?
What are we doing?
This is real silly, trivial shit. Doesn't matter. So September 22nd, 2000, murder case dropped in New Jersey.
Really?
Prosecutors dropped charges against him here for lack of evidence.
Oh, because he's got life in prison anyway.
Maybe, but they said basically the main witness made contradictory statements. Another witness died, and a third has been deported. So we had 3 witnesses. Now we have 1, and he's sort of a liar. So not real great. But they said there was insufficient credible evidence to prove that either defendant or other identifiable individual is guilty of this crime. They said they wouldn't comment any further on it. So he got off there. Rozier's lawyer sharply criticized the prosecutor's office for seeking Rozier's indictment. He said his client was a witness to the murder and described the incident when he cooperated with federal and state authorities at the time of the Yahweh trial. He said the prosecutor's office, under County Prosecutor Patricia Hunt, has interviewed witnesses who pointed to other cult members as the killers. That information was never made available to the grand jury that indicted Rozier and Armstrong. Furthermore, they said the prosecutor's office obtained the indictment without knowing that at least 2 of its main witnesses had failed polygraph tests when being interviewed at one point by the FBI.
Uh-oh.
They said this case should have never been brought in the first place. There was a clear lack of coordination between the prosecution and the FBI. That seems fair. They said Goldberg, who the defense said became the prosecutor about halfway through the case, did not know about the polygraphs and could not be reached for comment, obviously. Yeah. John McMahon, Armstrong's attorney, said the main witness who the prosecutor cited in a press statement as having made contradictory statements was Howard Campbell, also known by the cult name Obadiah Israel.
Nice.
Wow. They said he failed an FBI polygraph, a fact that he said was brought to Goldberg's attention, the prosecutor's attention, by the defendant. January 13th, 2001. Okay. Robert Rozier, after a hearing in the Placerville courtroom, El Dorado County judge sentences him to, you, sir, may fuck off 25 years to life in prison.
Fair.
So stupid. Wow. Not for murder. He got. Wow. I'm just. That's amazing. Think about the logic. Let's just think about logic.
Twice the sentence for writing checks as he got for murder.
Wow. So the judge said, saying that words like depraved, vicious, ruthless, and callous come to mind, and sentenced him to the maximum term under this. This is $2,200 in bounced checks, life in prison.
Christ.
The sentencing and the intense arguments in court had little to do with the bounced checks. They had to do with the fact that the same man who owned an auto detailing business and worked construction jobs around the county was a 7-time murderer.
Right.
That's what it was. Now, Rozier watched intently as defense attorney, his attorney, waved his arms emotionally and argued that his client should never have been subjected to the sentencing under 3 strikes because of the service he provided the government and risking his life to testify against the cult.
Sure.
At one point, he pounded his own chest to show he was wearing a bulletproof vest as he argued that Rozier's life is in danger because he betrayed Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
Oh.
Rozier, who was guarded by 4 courtroom deputies, wore an orange jail smock and no flak jacket. Finally, he argued that Rozier was a reformed man who long ago had been brainwashed into killing by Yahweh Ben Yahweh, yada, yada. He even likened Rozier to Lieutenant William Calley, the officer who now lives freely, who was convicted in the My Lai massacre for the killing of hundreds of civilians in Vietnam. That fucking guy should have never been freed. Those people were fucking disgusting what they did.
The guy
read about that.
Yeah, that made belts and shit like that.
All those guys. Go read about what the
so
fuck they
bad.
did to kids and women and shit and tell me that's okay. Fucking unbelievable. They said this man, Rozier, has been called the poster child for 3 strikes. But I will tell you, you will not find another poster child who testified to close down the most evil cult in America.
Yeah.
You won't find a poster child who puts his own life in danger. The prosecutor said you can't find a more appropriate candidate to receive 25 years to life.
Wow.
Okay. The prosecutor said that Rozier thought nothing of committing felony check fraud. He knowingly wrote these checks on a closed account for items that included brake shoes and groceries and bar tabs.
Yeah.
He said they had old Sparky, the electric chair in Florida, waiting, and he talked them out of that. He was so brazen, so arrogant, so certain that the law didn't apply to him.
Okay. Big evil.
As he pronounced sentence, the judge lectured Rozier, telling him he'd blown an unbelievable opportunity for freedom after serving 10 years in prison for his murders.
Yeah, that's the answer.
True.
It's just
that's the truth.
You're so lucky, and to piss this away over checks and whether or not it's a mistake, that's so fucked. You're so dumb.
You go 10-2 for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
10-2 and check all the mirrors forever. You're just...
My God, dude, I'm using wet
Straight and
wipes
narrow.
everywhere. I'm not making a mistake ever.
No, he said it was probably one of the greatest gifts, Mr. Rameses. You were home free of the death penalty, free of those cults, and you went back to committing crimes. These aren't really, come on. Going back to committing crimes of, minor check fraud is...
Yeah, it's not like he had a chop shop where he was stealing Mercedes. The guy wrote a $125 check that was no good.
It's so stupid. So Rozier didn't react to the comments. Instead, he told the judge he wanted to give praise and thanks to his attorney as someone who stands up against righteous indignation. Yeah. In interviews with the Bee, Rozier said he's grieved over his past and is no longer the same person and insists that he's rebuilt his life. So that's that. Now, after sentencing, the prosecutor begged the judge to keep Rozier in the county jail for an additional 120 days. I'm sorry, the defense attorney did, before sending him to state prison because he feared his client would be assassinated without proper security. He said, I don't want to have a dead man out there. He said a federal appeal is being filed in the case based on the plea bargain with the U.S. prosecutors, and he hoped Rozier could be moved into federal custody, which is considered much safer. Yeah, sure. So anyway, February 15th, 2001, he is admitted to Mule Creek State Prison under his witness protection name.
Here we go.
Which is Robert Ramesis, and his number is P99863 at the Mule Creek State Prison. July 10th, 2001, Yahweh's on the verge of getting out of prison. He's about to get out, whereas this guy's...
Wow.
Yeah, everything's fine, everybody.
Nothing's fucked, dear. Nothing's fucked.
No, this is all normal. There's one hitch to his August 17th parole. The government doesn't want him to associate with his Nation of Yahweh followers again.
Oh.
That's part of it. Yahweh says his condition violates his First Amendment rights, so he's suing the U.S. Parole Commission.
Oh, because, freedom of religion and shit,
When you keep making these fucking laws, giving religion more and more and more power, this is the bullshit that happens. He said, I've never heard of anything like it before, Yahweh's Fort Lauderdale attorney said. These are extraordinary types of restrictions and patently unconstitutional.
Okay.
Wow. She said there was an undercurrent of this is the prosecutor, undercurrent of violence in this sect. I don't think it was anything but a cult, and we need to protect the community from it. Yahweh's criminal case was very notorious. They said, you shall not associate or have any contact with members of the Black Hebrew group. This includes direct or indirect contact through any means, including internet, television, radio, phone, written form, or in person. Okay. This includes residence, employment, social, or other activities without the prior written approval of your U.S. probation officer.
It's the same as videotaping or replaying an NBA game.
Yeah, you do not want to replay or reshow this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. The suit asks U.S. District Judge Michael K. Moore to order the Parole Commission to lift those conditions and to stop the commission from revoking his parole if he exercises his, quote, constitutional right to freedom of religion and association. Oh, boy. In the suit, he said the Parole Commission did not impose such conditions on television evangelist Jim Bakker after he was released from prison following his conviction for embezzlement from his ministry. Well, he never ordered anybody murdered. That's why. I read the book.
Nobody was
murdered by him.
Murdered or maimed, for Christ's sake.
Not the same. Yeah, that's
still
apples
a
and
piece
oranges.
of shit, believe me.
I cannot stand Jim Bakker.
I do not
hate him
co-sign on
so
a goddamn
much.
thing he does.
Nope. They do have a Molly Moppet doll, though.
Oh, yeah?
Those dolls they sold. Someone sent us one.
What?
It's still in the package.
Molly Moppet?
We have it sitting in the studio. Yeah, when we're done, I'll show it to you.
I don't want to see
He says, indeed, he is back in the business of creating a new ministry, a new Christian ministry, the suit says, protecting the free exercise rights of Black Muslims, American Jehovah's Witnesses, Sikhs, Rastafarians, Santerias, and even the nation... and even the Nation of Yahweh is manifestly in the interest of the public because only through guaranteeing their rights will the rights of Americans be guaranteed.
Right.
The state prosecutor said the analogy to Bakker is laughable.
Right.
And said, quote, I see a real serious difference in the compelling state interest between theft and homicide.
Yeah,
there you
Santeria.
go. Free Santeria. Jesus Christ.
Has Santeria ever been on trial?
I don't know. No, probably not. I think Sublime is made it more famous than anything else. So he asked the Parole Commission, Yahweh does, to relocate to Enid, Oklahoma, where he was born.
Okay.
But a probation officer told the warden at Raybrook Prison that was a bad idea.
Yeah, probably true.
2 senior detectives in the Enid Police Department and 2 FBI agents said both law enforcement agents vehemently oppose Yahweh living in the community. They said his notoriety and beliefs would cause considerable discord among the local population.
Right.
Enid is a small rural community, comprised primarily of Caucasian traditional Christian individuals who would not subscribe to Yahweh's highly publicized religious and social beliefs.
So that's
well, that doesn't mean he
positive,
can't
right?
have them, though.
Yeah.
Hey, look, these people are white and in other shit, so they're not going to be into this. We can't have him here.
That won't
That's
cause
weird.
any problems at all locally.
No, that's like saying I'm going to open up an Applebee's and someone going, well, you're not allowed to because we don't think the people here would like an Applebee's.
Right.
Like, okay, well, that's still not. Yeah.
They're a little higher class than Applebee's around here, so I don't think you should.
Wow. Furthermore, Oklahomans in general are highly sensitive to and offended by individuals who may be perceived as being anti-government in the wake of the April 1995 Timothy McVeigh bombing.
Sure, yeah.
Now they're all into it again, though.
It's all over the place, all over again.
Yeah, both Mr. Yahweh's cable television program and website describe their organization as being at war with the United States,
Nice.
quote unquote. Yahweh's attorney predicted that the probation officer's reference to Enid's traditional Christian individuals would come back to haunt the parole commission. I would say so, too. Look, there's a lot of white people who like other shit. He can't come here. That's a crazy thing to say. They will have to eat those statements, the lawyer says. April 18th, 2001, they basically tell Yahweh, either go to Miami or prison. Those are your options. That's it. He also refuses to pay the fine and refuses to leave. He refuses to leave prison.
Oh, he's not. What?
This one says, the door is open for him. The new white shirt and pants and turban are ready for him to slip into. A snazzy apartment in a gated community awaits him in Miami. But the religious leader convicted in 92 won't leave Raybrook Federal Prison in upstate New York after 9 years because of a glitch in the works. Listen, I was a bouncer. Sometimes people didn't want to leave the bar. Yeah. They fucking left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can make anybody leave anywhere.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, man.
Yeah.
Get the fuck
you
out.
Go sit on the edge of the property if you want, but that's up to you. You can't stay here. We're not paying for your food anymore.
Yeah.
We're done.
We don't care.
He says in this he wants to go to a spacious Miami apartment rented by his religious followers, the Yahwehs who believe he's the Son of God, but the Federal Parole Commission has not given the go-ahead for him to do this. So he will not pay the $16,593 federal fine that, as long as it's owed, keeps him in prison. So that's that's why he's doing that. They're not going to kick him out because technically they have to keep him till he pays the fine. He can easily pay the fine, but is refusing to do so until he gets what he wants. His lawyer said he will pay his fine when the release address he submits his forms in is approved by the parole board, not before.
All right.
Interesting.
Now he's just
Very
a fucking
interesting.
nightmare.
No, he's just a dick. This guy's just an asshole.
He's a
I don't
pain
care
in the
about
ass.
it. He's a dickhead. Yeah. He's just if you talk to this guy, you'd be very frustrated with him.
For sure.
Just seems like that kind of guy. So they said it's a pending issue. They'll figure it out next week. And they're talking about going back to court. Now, September 26th, 2001.
Yeah.
He realized that, oh, shit, they probably have bigger things to worry about, this federal government. I better just get out of prison. Because,
So he paid the
15
fine
days
and
after.
left.
Well, he's out of prison, finds North Dade home. He's to live alone in a church-rented house. He is scheduled. He was just released from prison in upstate New York, and he was supposed to get out of the correctional facility August 17th, but he refused to pay the fine. And anyway, he asked to live with followers in Miami Shores, but federal parole board officials denied that request. So after his followers went in search of a Miami-Dade home where their leader would live alone, they found one at 14,200 Northwest 14th Avenue between North Miami and Opelika, when Yahweh member Delia Hankerson agreed to move out of the 2-story lakefront rental home paid for by the Nation of Yahweh and owned by a couple in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. They pay rent on it. The couple spends part of the year in Florida. Snowbirds. They rent snowbirds from Minnesota rent their condo to a murderous cult leader. That's amazing. That is awesome.
They
That's
lost
good.
their winter or their winter home over this.
My God, that is great summertime Minneapolis barbecue conversation. Oh no, we got a home down there in Florida. There, it's
Down in
nice.
Opelika.
Opelika, yeah. It's nice, I'll tell you. And no, we rented to a cult.
Oh, he's a nice guy. Yeah.
It's a nice cult. No, they're fine. Bunch of black
been very
guys.
Nice
They're
to us. Yeah.
bunch of black guys. They're fine.
Black,
Yeah. So. The redwood and stone 4-bedroom house has black olive trees out front and security cameras trained on the front yard, front door, and street. A screen porch runs the length of the house on the lake.
Sounds
Not bad.
Nice.
Sarah Adams, a Bell South employee who lives 2 houses down, said a parole official visited a month ago to ask how she felt about having Yahweh Ben Yahweh as her neighbor. Her answer, quote, "It's okay with me."
Uh-huh.
She said, "Everybody has to live somewhere. Let's just hope he does better."
That's a great point.
I guess, yeah.
I don't think he's gonna, but
Yeah, it's not really up to me where people live,
Yeah.
but that's what I would have said. The fuck are you asking me for? I'm not going to ask him when I move somewhere. Yeah, I don't care. The neighbor. Next door neighbor Shirley Armstead, a registered nurse at Jackson Memorial Hospital, said Hankerson, the house's former tenant, asked her a couple weeks ago how she felt about it. Armstead says she has no objection as long as there's no problems. Okay. And Hankerson promised there wouldn't be.
No problem.
Armstead said his name used to be synonymous with trouble, but maybe now he will become synonymous with something else. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, my God. Still to be negotiated is whether the parole board will require him to get a job. That would be awesome. I would pay to watch Yahweh Ben Yahweh work hot dog on a stick. I would pay fucking money to see him get in that outfit. Wouldn't you? I would bounce checks for that. That'd be amazing.
Really anywhere at the mall.
Yeah.
Any food.
But the most
job.
ridiculous outfit is what I'm talking about.
I want to see him in a food court job.
So bad.
Yeah.
Just fucking having teenagers scream at him for slices at Sbarro's would be amazing. Or Panda Express. I'll have the 3-item. Which one you want? He doesn't talk like that, but
rice or chow mein, both. Of course you want both.
Of course you want both. Orange chicken? We're out of orange chicken. You want beef and broccoli? No?
Orange chicken's going to be 10 minutes. He says that all day.
Will you wait 10 minutes? That would be so fucking funny. Waiting for people to, they go, and he stands there with the spoon,
Can
dying
I try the
inside.
firecracker beef? No.
He gets a little cup, puts it in it, hands it without even looking at her, just completely fucking dead inside. Oh, I would love that. I would love that. Yahweh questioned the fairness of being made to work at his age. When a parole commissioner said at a hearing that the parolee would have to work, quote, at a McDonald's or Burger King, he responded, at 66?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not? He's been put in solitary confinement since 9/11 because U.S. intelligence agents categorized him as a terrorist after that. Oh. That was when they were, blanket putting terrorist on everybody.
Yeah.
Evidence showed the 14 murders were motivated by revenge against white devils. Now, they say that in every article. It's just so funny. Quote, white devils. Yahweh's daughter, Vanita Mitchell, the second oldest of his 4 adult children, said her belief is that we are all children of God, whites and blacks, and that's the current belief of the Yahwehs.
Okay.
She said being a practicing Yahweh can be for anyone. He will lead a quiet life and not bother anyone, just as we just hope no one bothers him. Oh yeah, that's the main problem is people. Yeah. Soon afterwards, wow, hundreds of his followers resurfaced at a conference in Canada, calling it their new promised land. And the Yahwehs have also been active recruiting new members online at YahwehBenYahweh.com. Look them up. They're still extremely active. Extremely active. I mean, if you go on Yahweh and look, or Yahweh on Amazon and look up fucking Yahweh, it's become Smurf. It's just become a word you can use for anything at this point.
Yeah.
If you go on Yahweh.com and look up the Yahwehs, there's plenty of books on Yahweh.
Wow.
If you go to Amazon, there's a shit ton of books on this shit. I mean, tons of it. And not like, this cult was crazy. Not books like that. Like the lessons of Yahweh.
Books.
Legitimate, like you should join this religion. Books.
Yeah, this is what real life is here at Yahweh.
That is. That is fucking crazy. So here we go. October 7th, 2020. Let's fast forward to. Let's get back to old Robert here.
Yeah.
Now, on this day, he has a parole suitability hearing.
Yeah.
On this day, and it was postponed, and then it's postponed again on February 5th, 2021. July of 2021, he has a parole suitability hearing. That is, guess what? Postponed.
Yeah.
February 16th, 2022, he has a parole suitability hearing, and he was denied parole for 5 more years.
5 years.
Yep. So he put a petition forward.
Sure.
The incarcerated person's petition to advance his or her next parole suitability hearing date was approved.
Oh.
Okay. So July 8th, 2024, he has a parole suitability hearing, and it is canceled.
Canceled?
Canceled somehow. I don't know how that works. Then January 28th, 2025, he is denied parole again for 3 years.
Okay.
So that would be 2028.
Yeah.
So the original thing approved a shorter date. That would have been 2027. That would be 5 years from the 2022 date. Right. So by delaying it, he actually got more time in prison, even though they approved his petition to try to get earlier parole. So you got fucked on that one. January 6th, 2026, another one, the administrative review to advance an incarcerated person's next parole suitability hearing date was denied. Then, April 28th, 2026, still this year, his petition to advance his next parole suitability hearing up in time is denied again.
Damn it.
So January 2028 is his tentative date for parole suitability hearing. His next parole hearing is 2028.
And that's just a hearing. That doesn't he's not getting parole. He's up for
that's
review
a hearing
of it.
Yeah. And think about this. Yahweh's been out for 27 years at this point when he'll get a parole date. I mean, I assume he'd be dead by then, right? Didn't Yahweh die?
Yeah.
He's got to be dead by then. He's got to be dead by then. Somehow I didn't put that in here. But I'm looking it up right now. He's got to be dead. Guaranteed.
He's got to be dead. There's no fucking way that guy gets to last, right?
I mean, he'd be in his fucking late 80s now.
Yeah. Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Oh, God, it's
dead
such
in
a
2007.
fucking shit name.
He died in 2007.
Okay, all right.
So
probably
good.
of fucking happiness.
Tired of being blown too much.
Yeah, fucking jerk off.
Man, and we'll close with a quote from Robert Rozier here. Not enough for it in their own words, unfortunately, but this is Robert's quote when asked if he had any remorse over killing 7 men in 7 months, and he said, quote, "Why?" Which is
why do I want to know, or why would I?
Why would I? That's what he said. Wow. Can't get enough of Robert Rozier? Well, then, I'll tell you what.
Hang in there.
By the way, there's a lot of Robert Roziers as far as mistaken identities go, including a doctor who's indicted in the death of his cancer-stricken wife in Florida in 1987. That's not great. That's bad. Software designers, all sorts of different people. Anyway, also a senior lecturer.
Oh.
Because that would be funny. You'd want to hear a lecture from this guy. This is how you take a head off a body, really, is how you do it.
Yeah. If you open your books to...
Yeah. So there you go, everybody. There is the saga of Robert Rozier and the Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult, all cleaned up and done here.
A life lived. My God.
A life lived. Yeah, this was some kind of life. I'll say that much for it. So crazy shit this was. I mean, he's still in prison. What a wild time. He's still alive, still in prison. Like I can't believe that cult still persists.
It's still going.
They still go, man. It's crazy.
Where there's money to be stolen, it will happen.
To be pilfered and
grifted.
Cajoled and grifted out of people. So there you go. If you want to join the Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult, move to Canada or wherever the fuck it is, or just join it online, I'm sure. But if you if you want to help the show out, give us 5 stars on whatever app you're listening on. That's better advice to do that. and to join the cult. So hang out with us there. Do that. Definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com where you get all of everything. The merch is there. And, of course, tickets to Small Town Murder live shows, especially September 18th, Milwaukee, September 19th in Minneapolis. Get those right now while they're hot. Just came out of the oven. So they're yummy. They smell like chocolate. So you're going to want those. So get those and get in there. That's shutupandgivememurder.com. Follow us at Crime and Sports on social media as well. Get yourself Patreon. That's the main thing we're trying to get across to you here. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports is where you get all the bonus material, and it's a ton. All you have to be is $5 a month or above, and that price has never gone up and won't go up again, or ever. It never has. It's just always been $5. So anybody $5 or above, you get everything we put out, all of our bullshit. Put it that way.
Everything we can occupy your time from now until you die.
Months. Yeah, until Yahweh decides that you're whatever. So, do that. What you're going to get is as soon as you subscribe, you're going to get almost 400 back bonus episodes you've never heard before. So big feed to binge there. Then you get new ones every other week, one Crime and Sports and one Small Town Murder, and you get every goddamn last one of them here. So this week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, Hostage Situations, Part 2, because the first one was goddamn crazy. And we had so much fun with it, and we had a bunch more. And we're like, we got to do a two-parter here. And then for Small Town Murder, Prisoner Dating Game time. Holy shit, it's back, everybody.
Oh, boy.
After much, much, much requesting, because it's been a while, we have another Prisoner Dating. Oh, man, it's going to be great. What we do here, if you don't know anything about the Prisoner Dating Game, it is the beloved classic where I line up 4 bachelors and 4 bachelorettes in front of Jimmy, and they only have one thing in common, and that is they are all currently incarcerated violent felons. And Jimmy's going to pick one of those based solely on what they say in their profiles and having no idea what they've done or anything like that.
Right.
And then he's going to pick somebody, and then the fun part is afterwards he gets to find out what they did and the bullets he dodged by all the other people and what they did and how bad of a decision he made. And it's fucking hilarious. It is. I wish we could do that as a show every week. We probably could, but it seems weird. It's a lot of work, too. Those things take a while to put together. So get your Prisoner Dating Game, get your Patreon, patreon.com/CrimeInSports. Now, in addition to that, you also get every show we put out. Crime and Sports, Small Town Murder, Your Stupid Opinions, which you should definitely fucking listen to. It's so funny. You get all of that ad-free with your Patreon.
Oh, yes.
Can't beat it. Ad goddamn free. So in addition to that, you know what else you get?
What's that?
A shout out where Jimmy's going to mispronounce your name and he's going to do it right now. Jimmy, hit me with the people who would never, ever, ever send us to jail for writing $125 worth of bad checks. Jimmy, hit me with them right fucking now.
This week's executive producer, Gary Howard in Allentown, PA. Good for you.
Hey, he's living here in Allentown, singing fucking Billy Joel songs. Good for you, Gary.
Claude Cavallo, happy hours in Galveston, Texas.
Oh.
Don't get washed away. Aaron Webb, Kelly Becker, Shay Hausman, Christy Malcolm, Chris Bowers, Vanessa Braley. Thank you all so much for doing what you're doing. Also, real quickly.
Thank you. Fucking love you guys.
These shout-outs, you guys, we try to do them. We started this to try to give you guys credit for what you're doing because we really feel like you are the backbone of this and you deserve the credit. So we just want to mention your name at least once.
Yeah,
and so,
I just want to shout you out.
People, there may be a little confusion. I can only do this on the initial sign-up. If you hear anybody repeat it, it's because they donate every week, and I don't fucking know why they do it, but boy, am I grateful for those people.
Thank you for doing it. Yeah.
So I can only do it on the first one, because otherwise this would take longer than the show. It's thousands of people. It's crazy.
We'd have to put out a separate show, a separate 2.5-hour show every week.
Of just us stumbling through the fucking different ethnicities of this country.
Hey, that'd be easy for me, though. That would be good. We should do that one. If we could replace a regular show with that.
Is that what you guys want? Is that what you want?
I hope not.
Other
God.
producers this week. So the point is, giving you credit. You deserve
Fuck
it.
yeah.
And we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so
We
much.
love you for it. Thank you.
But I'm not going more than once. Fucking goddamn it. It's so
It's
much.
impossible. We would if we could, but we can't.
Other
So
producers
we
this
won't.
week: Peyton Meadows, Liz Vasquez,
Hey,
Janice Hill,
thank
Bill
you, bro.
McClellan,
Thank
Casey
you,
Tompton, Megan and Mabel
you.
Fred, Scarlett Horbeast III. Thank you all so much. Dustin Kelly, Elise, no last name, Elise, I think. Sam Hodges, Tracy Fontaine, Sarah Sanders, Kendra with no last name, Katrina Bell, Danny Errett, Todd Wallenbeck, Heather Morche, Craig Garland, Courtney Griggs, April K., Joe Whitaker, McKenna Matthey, Megan Block, Kimberly Watto, Jill White, Ryan Delgado, Brandon Wilson, Lauren Murphy, Dina Hoffman, Joe with no last name, Benjamin Gears, Brooke Page, Amy Linebarger, all right, Chance with no last name, Natalie Florianchich. Sylvester Gang. Bridget Reveres. All right. Allison with no last name. Pam with no last name. SP. No last name. Justin Yetzers. Megan Davis. Adam Hess. Janine. My God. Mallory. Megan Follette. Denny with no last name. Denai. Lewis with no last name. Misty with no last name. Gavin Beery. Joseph Florkley. Life is better with dogs. I couldn't agree more. Denise Bebiano. Ronnie with no last name. Tanika Beaver. Hell yeah.
Oh.
Megan Termeze.
Hey.
How do you say her name? Termeze, because it's like Torme. Yeah,
Mel
it's like
Torme.
Mel or Marissa. Jessica, but it's Terme. All right, you get Jessica
I get
Perky
you. I feel
Perk.
You got that.
Derek Stewart, Leslie with no last name, Katie Bourne, Jan Sims, like Phil, Abigail Bitar, Julia Davis, Trina Child Shaw, Amber Spencer, and then Laura Spencer, or is that Cora Spencer? I don't know what I did. I may have mistyped Laura. Britt with no last name, Kay Bui, Lindsay Trent, Shay Housemont. I said that. Johnny Rhodes, Loregon, Chistel. Nope, that's Crystal. Crystal Gilbo.
Chistel.
Is it Chistel?
You should go by
I may have
Chistel
spelled
now,
it
Crystal.
right.
Is there an R in there?
I don't know.
I love it. Fucking awesome.
Dave Dorn, James Bugger, Chris Tuning, Shannon Leary, Brittany Green, Mama 5150, Todd
Mama
Fischel.
5150.
She's crazy, James. Crazy mom.
Crazy. It's
Carol
a crazy
with no
mama.
last name. Robert Smith, Holly DeCrescenzo.
Oh.
Crescenzo.
Something
All right.
Italian.
Liz Hammer. Liz Shamar. God damn it. Cora Lee with no last name. Beth with no last name. Robert Burke. Cecily with no last name. Killer State of Mind. Tina Tiago. Jeff Gomez. Tuck. 1195. Jessica Mijelich. It sounds like something Borat would say.
Yeah, it's a
Mijelich. Rhiannon Henry. Abby Danko. Smooth C. No try, just hard. I don't know. What does that mean?
I have no
What
idea.
you're trying to get out of me.
Something Yoda.
Yeah.
Yoda. If
No
was
try,
talking to
just
porn
hard.
stars.
Jamie
No
Mears.
try. Penis just hard. Sorry.
Say it with some nondescript accent. Brendan with no last name. Chuck Lankford. Ike Bryant Lisco with no last name. Tara Quozo. Jennifer Lee. Melissa with no last name. Mandy, or maybe Leah. Mandy Latier. Vegan Me. Rebecca with no last name. Melissa Mialjanek. Jeremiah Gray, Nab, Sar. It's not Knob, right? Nobody's name is Knob. Connie Ryan,
not.
Christopher with no last name, Jeff Millett, Katie Keller, Mike Doherty, Sarah Suman, Ryan Didi, Andy Kiki, Susan with no last name, Miranda Coolho, Luminator, Charles Williamson. What is it?
I said, there you go.
That's probably
Luminator.
right.
Yeah,
CW, Laura Bishop, Cody with no last name, Ryan Hanink, Pierrette, that's the girl Pierre, Ida Yaga, Pierrette. Pierrette. Is there a Pierrette?
Pierre's it's Pierre's daughter, Pierrette.
Is there a gal named Pierre? Yolanda Foltz, Kimberly Howie, Carla with no last name, Money or Mooney, Christian Muir, Leslie Cullen. She has two, and she did that on purpose. Two paid. Thank you, Leslie.
Well,
Vanessa
thank you, Leslie.
Bwendell, Chris Odell, Crystal Osborne, Lazio. Nope, that's Laszlo. Marks, Sloan Skillman, Deborah Logan, Ben Mills, Dana Kilcoyne. That's probably not right. Kelsey Terrell, Meg with no last name, Carrie with no last name, Leland Helms. Leland is such a cool old man name. I had a crossing guard named Leland. He was the best. He got hit by a car and died.
Oh.
Holding the little sign out there.
That's a heartwarming story.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
a sweet old man just got blasted by a Honda Accord.
Perfect. That's how I want to go.
Christy DiCillo, Brian Hansel, Deborah Glazer, Justin with no last name, Lynn, Steve and Dina Morin, Jennifer Stroesner, Heidi Anderson, Sam with no last name, Ashley Smith, Christina with no last name, Amber Robinette, Alexandra Mitrofan, Micah Reynolds, Katie Gabagould. Michelle Miller. Oh, we can probably know her. Michelle's terrific. Martha. Araceli. Martha. Joan Rowland. Ryan Young. Tracy Craig. Carls Barkley. All right. Patriot Babe. Better be the Patriots. New England variety. Brandon Brooks, Fern Dragon, Christine Bridges, Rick Silvera, Mackenzie Green, Angela Jones, Sarah with no last name, Beth Ward, Pete with no last name, Heather Zerpel perhaps, Brett Whitaker, Amber Hodorsky, Michael Ducey, Heather Montalvo, Garlic Thought. All right. Drew Miller, Amy Gaitan, and all of our patrons. You're the best.
Thank you, everybody. God damn it. You're just amazing. Thank you for coming through for us week after week after week, and just all that you do for us forever. Everybody that's been listening for 10 years and just everything else. Thank you so much for what you do for us all the time, every day, and every week. Best. And just we appreciate it a lot.
You're the best.
Can't wait to see you guys. If you want to follow us on social media, real easy. Shutupandgivememurder.com has just menus that take you anywhere you want to go. So come back and see us week after week. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.